Code Red.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Police arresting a small-town alderman and wife on charges of money laundering. What else they are now accused of, and how much time they could face behind bars.
Plus the latest in the Trinity Bostic case from friends, family, and the district attorney general as the teen charged with murder is set to appear in court today.
Yesterday was fantastic. Oh, this morning there's already haze and it's 4 o'clock. It's a sign of things to come. Our hottest weather so far this season coming your way in your COVID forecast. We'll gear you up for it.
All right, so he's saying it's going to be a hot day. Good morning and happy Thursday. Thanks for waking up with Fox 17 News. I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. We are following breaking news this morning out of Antioch. We have yet another shooting reported there. Let's get to the details that we know so far this morning. And limited right now coming in from police, but here's what we do know. We've mapped out the location for you in Antioch. The victim found near the intersection of Forest View Drive and let's see here, Bell Road. So not far from that area. We understand the man was able to drive himself to the hospital to get help. That's really all we know right now as far as, what happened here. We're going to bring you more information just as soon as it becomes available.
And more headlines this Thursday morning. Smart, hardworking, genuine, and full of love. That is how Trinity Bostic's friends are now remembering her. Meanwhile, today, the man accused in her death is going to make his first court appearance.
Fox 17 News' Johnny Mathey is on the story. He's live outside the Sumner County Courthouse this morning to walk us through what to expect today.
Good morning, Jen and Erica. So the 17-year-old male who's charged with first-degree murder, he's set to make his first detention hearing this afternoon at the Sumner County Courthouse. And I spoke on the phone this week with Sumner County District Attorney General Ray Whitley, who does say he does plan to file a petition to charge this teen try this teen, as an adult. Now, Trinity Bostic, she went missing back in late June and her body was found last week. And a friend of Bostic's did tell me on the phone this week that she knew the teen that was arrested. Now, Bostic's family is also not pleased with the lack of social media pushes when the 17-year-old was missing from law enforcement, but we will be talking more about that throughout the morning. So again, the detention hearing is today. It's at 1 p.m. and the judge does decide today whether the teen is held in custody or released. And the next step after today would be a transfer hearing happening, and that is when the district attorney general would file that petition to try that teen as an adult. We'll have more on this throughout the morning right here from the Sumner County Courthouse in Gallatin. I'm Johnny Mathey, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
4:03 the time right now. First look at your forecast here this morning on this baby Friday, and yesterday we got the treat. It was a great day. Hope you found a little bit of time to get outside. Now, today is by no means a really bad day, but this is the beginning of a very hot pattern that settles in. And once it takes place here and really ramps up tomorrow into Saturday, we don't look back till the end of next week. Dangerous heat on Monday and Tuesday. I've already got us in code red for those days, so you're going to see red lights turn on over the weekend because of heat index values that could be upwards of 110 degrees on Monday and Tuesday of next week. Code red for right now, though, is not a thing. We're all clear. Today, just a little bit warmer. We'll be in the lower 90s today as opposed to the upper 80s of yesterday. We're at 70, not a bad start, and not much humidity yet. By the end of today, humidity begins to creep back in. Unlike yesterday, we're starting off already clear. So we did get allowed to drop back into the 60s one more time. Look at the Cumberland Plateau. Oh, that is beautiful air this morning. Upper 50s and low 60s. By the end of next week, we'll have morning temperatures that will be in the upper 70s, close to 80. That's how things are going to work for us here. Up and out the door without any rain gear. We don't have any rain in the forecast until at least Monday, if not Tuesday of next week. And those chances are very small. Be at that, so we can leave the umbrella at home for a while. Let's get you at the door here on a Thursday. 69 degrees at 5 o'clock, 68 at 6, and 70 degrees at 7 a.m. The morning is great. The afternoon does get a little bit on the hotter side, though. We're going to put ourselves back up to 92 degrees today, 96 tomorrow. We've got a lot to unpack with this upcoming weekend and looking into next week as well. Look at those numbers. Upper 90s for 5 days in a row.
Greg, thank you so much. 4:04 is the time, so we are going to check in for your steer clear traffic update and take you near the airport. You can see right here on your screen, we are not seeing any significant slowdowns. Not a lot of people out there heading to the airport right now, but that certainly changes, and it could change very quickly. So I-40, Donaldson Pike, right now we're giving you the green light. We'll continue checking all of your steer clear traffic maps and give you some updates throughout 9 o'clock.
It's 4:05 right now. A Deckard city alderman is accused of money laundering and selling drugs. Let's take a look here at Alderman Justin Stubblefield and his wife, Paige Stubblefield. Both of them now charged with conspiracy to distribute oxycodone. Now, this comes after police investigated 2 overdose deaths. Deckard, by the way, is close to Chattanooga. Police believe the 2 victims bought the drugs from the couple. Our Fox 17 News team reached out to the city of Deckard for comment. We are still waiting on a response.
In Operation Crime and Justice happening now, Metro Police are busy searching for the person accused of shooting a woman outside of a nightclub. This happened though last September, and now we're getting some new details. Take a look right here at your screen. There was some sort of argument, police say, in the parking lot outside of Zion Lounge is over in Murfreesboro Pike, and that's when a fight broke out. Police say the suspect then pulled out a gun and shot the victim in the leg. Now they're asking anyone who might have information to go ahead and call Crime Stoppers. We are sharing that number right here. We're going to share it a little bit later, coming up on your screen. Also, if you want to take another look at the photos and get that number, go to fox17.com.
An argument at a fast food drive-through line turns deadly. A message from the victim's family as they're mourning the loss of a loved one.
Also ahead, after the death of a Fort Campbell soldier, multiple agencies are still trying to piece together what happened.
17 News this morning. Hey, we want to let you know about something that's happening in Davidson County. The clerk's offices are shut down until further notice. That message coming from the Metro Nashville Twitter account. Now, what you're looking at here on your screen is our Fox 17 website. That's fox17.com. We understand that the reason that they had to shut down the clerk's offices is some kind of software issue. They hope to have the problem resolved by sometime today. We'll keep you posted.
Right now, we are getting some more information this morning about the death of a Fort Campbell soldier. It's an ongoing investigation. Her body was found in her home. This was back in May, though. An autopsy report from the Montgomery County Medical Examiner's Office reveals that Katia Aguilar was stabbed 68 times in her neck and upper body. The medical examiner went ahead and ruled her death as a homicide. As of now, the Clarksville police and Army criminal investigators have not identified a suspect. Her family, though, is offering a reward for information that leads to any kind of arrest.
Continuing Operation Crime and Justice now, we have had another arrest involving a WeGo property. This is the public bus system for Nashville. A man is facing several charges after police say he tried to rob a bus rider in a wheelchair at the downtown WeGo station.
Officers say that James Claybrooks tried to steal money right out of the man's hands when selling him a gift card. Claybrooks is currently being held on a $31,000 bond.
This is not the first time that we have had something, regarding safety on Nashville's public transit system, the WeGo system. So if you want to read more about the history and all the other stories that we've covered, just head to fox17.com. And you can follow us on our social media accounts. We keep you posted there too.
I just want mama.
All right, I know that might have been hard to understand, but that was someone saying, I just want my mama. Across the state, Memphis police are searching for the person accused of shooting and killing a church's chicken employee.
Such a hard story here. We do understand the family of 48-year-old Anitra West are calling for senseless crime in Memphis to just stop. According to police, the shooting happened after an argument between the employee and a drive-thru customer. Investigators say after the customer drove away, the employee went outside to get some air. Well, a few minutes later, the customer came back and shot at her. This was all, though, caught on camera. Again, that happening in the church's parking lot. The investigation this Thursday morning is ongoing.
Coming up in the forecast, we had a nice day yesterday, but now we're gearing up for heat for the weekend and beyond. Broadway is wet. You just missed it by about 30 seconds. No, it did not rain overnight. This is that typical morning, wiping whatever happened last night off the streets. So we're going to talk about a lot of heat and try to find some raindrops in a few minutes.
And steer clear traffic looking okay this morning. No big issues to start your day. We've got a live look right now. I-24 at Briley Parkway. Trying to figure out what... Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning, 4:13 right now. Operation Crime and Justice and Fox 17 News is reporting, prompting city leaders now to address the taxi cab issues that are putting both locals and tourists at risk downtown.
This morning, Fox 17 News' Madeline Nolan is joining us live, giving us another update when it comes to regulations. Good morning, Madeline.
Good morning, and that's right. Taxi companies alike are all saying that this blatant overcharging is getting out of control, and they're saying it's because these taxi drivers are not starting those meters and they're getting away with it. Now, after continuous coverage, taxi companies and Metro Councilman Jacob Cupin says that there will be a meeting Friday with taxi companies, the Transportation Licensing Commission, and Metro Police to address and maybe even get to the bottom of this issue. The managers of Yellow Cab and Nashville Checker Cab says that overcharging is getting out of control, and they're pointing to the lack of accountability from the TLC.
All it would take is maybe 2 or 3 times a week they put an employee of the TLC into a cab on Broadway or at Opryland or coming out of the airport, and when the driver overcharged them or didn't turn on that meter, boom. They're in charge of regulation and enforcement, and they refuse to do anything. They say they're understaffed.
Now, Fox 17 News has requested multiple interview requests with the TLC, but they continue to say that they continue to offer statements saying that these reports are looked at on a case-by-case basis. But we really want to know why this is still happening. Councilwoman Emily Benedict also took to social media following this news coverage, and she said that she will also be speaking to the Transportation Licensing Committee at their next meeting, which is going to take place next Thursday. Live here on Broadway, Madeline Nolan, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Madeline, thank you. 4:15 is the time. We're checking in for another, hot forecast.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday was gorgeous. Hopefully, had a little time out there. Today's not bad, but today's kind of that little beginning of an upward trend. We're just going to get worse and worse each day.
Well, and I think this is just that typical entering the dog days of summer, as they're called, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, we're going to see some of the hottest air we've had so far this season, and it's going to be prolonged this time. Not 1 or 2 days that might be near 100. We're going to have 5 days in a row that'll be in the upper 90s, if not at that 100-degree mark. Taking a look downtown, we are not necessarily crystal clear here this morning. We've got a little mugginess that's settled in here, a little haze here and there, maybe even a patch or two of fog in some outlying areas, but nothing else is happening. Remember, crystal clear start to the day. Beautiful sunrise coming our way in about an hour and 15 minutes. Precip chances, I wish we could have some bigger bars here. We need rain. We really need to have some rain, and we're just not going to get it. We're already in a drought. It's only going to get worse. Backyard today, 77 degrees at 9 a.m., 87 at noon. 91 degrees at 3 p.m. Highs today are going to be in the low 90s for most of us. The only place that gets relief today has it right now on the right side of your screen. The Cumberland Plateau current temps are in the 50s and 60s. Your highs will be in the middle 80s, and then everyone gets the heat to crank up going into next week. Talking about the drought.
All right, let's get into steer clear traffic right now. It would appear that this thing we're watching at I-24 at Briley Parkway is causing a bit of an issue here. It looks like some kind of shipping container or maybe even a shed that is sitting at the exit ramp at I-24 at Briley Parkway. Now, this is where if you're on Briley Parkway and you're trying to get off that exit ramp right there to get on I-24 to go toward Jolton and Clarksville. What's hard to make out is whether they've got the whole exit shut down. It almost looks that way right now. So we do have some kind of first responder on the scene. Let's see if we've got somebody else coming up here now. It kind of looks that way. Yeah, we do. We've got backup. So we're going to work to figure out exactly what this is. As the sun comes up, it'll be easier to see. TDOT just reporting this now as a disabled vehicle, which I think is so vague because that really doesn't tell us anything for starters, but also it doesn't look like a car or truck of any sort. So we'll keep an eye on this for you. I would recommend if you are going to get on Briley Parkway in the next, 30 minutes or so, and you have to get onto 24 to go up toward Jolton or Clarksville, it doesn't look like you're going to be able to take that exit. And yeah, look, there's a little triangle set up. They've got this thing shut down. So I would say a good detour here would be to go up through Whites Creek. You could take 431 or Highway 41 as a good detour.
Right now in politics, many national leaders remain divided over whether or not President Biden should suspend his re-election campaign. And as Fox 17 News' Matt Galka reports, former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is now publicly weighing in.
Overwhelming support.
Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi did not commit to Joe Biden's candidacy when she was asked about it Wednesday.
It's up to the president to decide if he is going to run. We're all encouraging him to make that decision because time is running short.
But the president has said he's staying in the race multiple times. Pelosi seemed to suggest that Democrats stick to a wait-and-see approach.
Whatever he decides, we go with. I think it's really important, and I would hope everyone would join in, to let him deal with this NATO conference.
The comments didn't make the picture for Democrats clearer on where support for the president stands. Members who have come out against him have cited voter concerns on his age and viability. And voters have been hit with multiple reports about Biden needing more sleep or going to bed early, prompting national security concerns. His team says he's up to the job.
If the national security team needs to get to the president, they get to the president. And it doesn't matter what the hour on the clock says. He's always there. He's always available.
In a tweet, New York Democrat Richie Torres said his party needs a reckoning with the down ballot effect of whomever we nominate. What matters is not how we feel, but what the numbers tell us. Recent polls are not moving the Democrats' way. The Cook Political Report now says 3 safe Democratic states, Minnesota, New Hampshire, and part of Nebraska, have become less safe in their latest rankings. And they move 3 toss-up swing states, Arizona, Georgia, and Nevada, to lean Republican this week. And it's not just battlegrounds. Biden is starting to show weakness in other states that haven't voted Republican in decades, like New York, Virginia, and New Jersey, adding to the post-debate Democrat panic. Reporting in Washington, I'm Matt Galka.
Matt, thank you. Time right now is 4:20.
The better.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. It is 4:23 right now, and we have a live look from Houston, Texas, where we have hundreds of thousands of people still without power this morning after Hurricane Beryl. We understand that the local leaders there are trying to find solutions to try to get people back online, but unfortunately, these things take time. We've got crews out there working 24/7 to try to do that, but the heat there is so intense. Heat index values over 100 and no air conditioning.
Suppressive.
Yeah.
I was in this barn here, cleaning the cows out, and next thing you know, the roof was coming off. You couldn't see. I was in one of the skid steers. A cow jumped in my lap with me. There's stuff blowing everywhere.
Oh man, take a look at this video. The National Weather Service saying that 2 tornadoes touched down in western New York Wednesday. So the video we're showing you this morning is the aftermath over in Eden. That is just outside of Buffalo, where crews say an EF0 with up to 85-mile-per-hour winds hit this area. No injuries, but like you just heard there, the storm, it destroyed a farm in that area.
Gracious. All right, let's talk to Greg now about the forecast. And, so many of our neighbors across the country are dealing with wild weather. Here for us, it's just going to be the heat, right?
Yeah, the heat's the big factor here. We actually did have one confirmed tornado from, when Beryl moved through with us in Cumberland County. I've got a map for you. I'll show you as soon as we start the 4:30 half hour. The big picture, though, Jen, you're 100% correct. It's just the heat. Going forward, we're not going to escape it in any way, shape, or form. I want to get back to why this is not going to be a good thing. When you put 4, 5, 6 days in a row in the mid to upper 90s and load it up with sunshine, you're pulling any little moisture we have left in the ground out of it, and most of us need rain. Nashville has seen 40% of the rain we're supposed to see within the last 30 days. Now, if you're in southern Kentucky, you're sitting pretty. You've got a surplus of rain. But if you go more toward the south, the more south we go, the less rain we have gotten over the last 30 days, and it's only going to get worse in terms of those numbers dropping over the next week. Taking a look, the gardens, how they holding up? Looking pretty good right now. We've been doing the watering in the morning, watering late in the day. Keep it going, maybe twice a day now, because we're starting to build the heat. 77 degrees at 9 a.m., 87 at noon, 91 degrees at 3 p.m. Forecast keeping the heat, and also tons of sunshine loaded in. Maybe you're watching for the first time. First of all, good morning. Thank you for waking up with us. But I want to give you one little hint here that I give about once or twice every morning when it comes to maybe your garden isn't looking so great. and you're watering right in the middle of the day, that can actually hurt vegetation. So what you want to do is water in the morning or in the evening, let that water soak into the soil. Don't do it overnight, but right after sunrise, right before sunset. That's the best way to go about it. To keep things looking good here during a stretch like this, 92 degrees today, 96 degrees tomorrow. Upper 90s, close to 100 degrees on Saturday and Sunday, and I've already put us into code red for Monday and Tuesday. So the red lights will go on this weekend, and we're going to have heat index values on Monday and Tuesday that could be up near 110 degrees. So weather's looking good, but right now in steer clear traffic, maybe someone lost their she shed or something going on here. I don't know what is going on, but let's take a look.
Yeah, it's the mystery of the morning, Greg. We'll do that here in just a moment. Thank you. Right now, FEMA is finalizing a rule that would help flooded communities build back with a focus on resiliency. They say it's an effort to guard against future flooding.
The rule comes as parts of the U.S. have been rocked by early season flooding from Beryl. FEMA said it will pay about 75% of or more, I should say, of the project's total costs. These funds will help rebuild municipal buildings, fire and police stations, and also hospitals. But it will not impact the rebuilding of private homes. Not going to impact them. The new rule does go into effect in early September, so God, not too long from now.
And now we dive into the mystery of the morning in steer clear traffic. What is sitting on the exit ramp from Briley Parkway to get on I-24 going up toward Jolton or Clarksville? Greg just asked a moment ago, is it a she shed? Well, that's what we're trying to find out right now, and we'll keep you posted. By the way, this is the only issue in steer clear traffic at the moment. For the rest of you, you've got the green light to get out and go.
Blatant overcharging and not going by the meters.
Overcharged and riding around Nashville. Metro leaders now taking action as Fox 17 News continues highlighting an issue putting locals and tourists at risk downtown.
Nearly 22 million children living in America rely on schools for their meals. Fox 17 News and our parent company, Sinclair Broadcasting.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News This Morning. We're live in Gallatin outside the Sumner County Courthouse, bringing you the latest on the Trinity Bostic case as the suspect is set to appear in court today.
And the heat is on today, warmer than yesterday, but downright hot for the upcoming weekend and beyond. How long it'll last and how hot will be coming up in your forecast.
And Fox 17 News taking a closer look at this. A disabled vehicle pulled over at the exit ramp, I-24 Briley Parkway. We are getting some more updates. T-Dot there. That's good news. Hopefully it's cleared soon.
Thanks for joining us for Fox 17 News This Morning. I'm Jennifer Waddell.
And I'm Erica Glover. Happy Thursday to you. We are going to get started this Thursday morning with some updates. It's all involving a missing toddler who has been found, and she is now fighting for her life after being airlifted over to the Vanderbilt Children's Hospital.
All right, so this is in Logan County, Kentucky, where the sheriff's office says that child walked away from a home in Russelville, found unconscious in a small body of water, so like a pond. We do understand that, as Erica mentioned, she's been airlifted to Vanderbilt. We'll update you on this story just as soon as that information comes in.
Well, happening today, the Smoke and Thighs restaurant staff is going to honor the memory of their owner. Matthew Carney was hit in the parking lot of the restaurant back on June 19th. He died, though, on July 4th from those injuries. So tonight, a candlelight vigil is going to be held at the restaurant at 7:30 p.m. So they're going to be closed all day. That way, family and staff can attend the funeral services. Police, though, are still searching for the driver who hit Carney with a pickup truck weeks ago and took off from the scene. If you'd like to take a look at the truck believed to be involved, visit fox17.com.
More morning headlines here for your Thursday. Happening today, the teenager charged with killing 17-year-old Trinity Bostic will have his first detention hearing today.
Fox 17 News' Johnny Maffey is joining us live outside of the Sumner County Courthouse after talking to Bostic's friends and family. Johnny, what are they saying to you?
Well, Jen and Erica, they're hanging in there. I spoke with Trinity's father on the phone yesterday, and he didn't want to say much due to the ongoing investigation. But I also talked to one of her friends, and she said that funeral they had earlier this week was a beautiful ceremony. There was a lot of purple in the crowd as a way to honor her from her friends and family. Now, here at the courthouse today at 1 p.m. is when that detention hearing is for the 17-year-old male charged with first-degree murder. And a friend, that friend I spoke with on the phone, does say that the unidentified teen and Bostic did know each other. Now, when Bostic went missing back on June 29th, her half-sister, Tasha Calcody, was upset by the lack of social media posts from law enforcement. Macon County Sheriff said it was because they knew she wasn't in Macon County, but missing persons advocates say that's what social media is for, spreading info beyond the area. Now, the detention hearing, like I mentioned, is at 1 p.m. today, and the judge is going to decide whether that 17-year-old male is to remain in custody or not. And I did speak also with the Sumner County District Attorney General Ray Whitley on the phone this week, who says when the transfer hearing happens, right, that's the next step after the detention hearing, he will be filing a petition to try the teen as an adult. Live this morning in Gallatin, I'm Johnny Maffey, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Johnny, thank you. You can always get more stories just like this delivered right to your inbox every single morning by signing up for our Fox 17 News daily newsletter right here at the homepage. It's over at fox17.com.
4:33, looking at your forecast here this morning, and we're keeping it rain-free for you here. What's new this morning? Well, we're warmer. We're back into the 90s for high temperatures starting today all the way through the 7-day forecast. No rain through the weekend. What I mean by that is no significant rain. There will be a few little disturbances that move in today through Sunday where one or two areas might catch a quick 10-minute shower. That's it. Don't plan for rain, don't expect rain, and anything you get might actually make you feel a little more comfortable. Dangerous heat index values going into next week, upwards of 105 to 110 for the feels likes on Monday and on Tuesday. Those days I've already got code red put up in the forecast for you here. Just know those are the 2 days with the most aggressive and dangerous heat ahead. This morning is deceiving. Flat out deceiving. Yesterday morning was overcast. We were warmer. These numbers right here are how much cooler we are this morning than the same time yesterday. Cumberland Plateau, you're waking up in the upper 50s and low 60s. It's a really beautiful start. The afternoon, though, is going to be a little bit hotter than yesterday. Why are we cooler now and warmer later? We were clear overnight. We lost the blanket that can keep in the heat for you here. So that's the whole story for us here is we're clear right now, so we're cooler, but we're also sunnier quicker, and we heat up faster for the afternoon. This morning, no weather concerns when it comes to any traffic implications. We're rain-free. We are grabbing the sunglasses. Sun glare is going to be very, very noticeable here in about an hour from right now.
Greg, thank you. Let's get back into steer clear traffic as we continue to follow the mystery of the morning on Briley Parkway at the entrance ramp to get onto I-24 going up toward Jolton and Clarksville. We are, trying to figure out what has caused police and TDOT to shut off this ramp. It looks, we're guessing here at this point, okay? We're guessing. Could it be a shipping container? Is this some type of shed? Could it be the rear end of a tractor trailer that flipped over? It's very hard to tell because it's dark, but know this, if you were watching or listening this morning and you typically take Briley Parkway, now this is north of Nashville, okay, so this is up near Madison, this is up near Whites Creek, okay, if you typically take Briley Parkway north of Nashville to jump on I-24 to go up toward Clarksville, you are not going to be able to take this exit ramp. You're exiting off Briley to get onto I-24. It's shut down. I would recommend best detours could be, you could go through Whites Creek. You could take Highway 41 and maybe go up toward Old Hickory Boulevard, cut over through Whites Creek that way, but you can't get on 24 here. We'll continue to see if we can figure out what this is and let you know the impact of traffic. I'm noticing a slowdown. We can see people pumping the brakes as they go by here trying to figure out where am I going to go next. I can't get off my exit, so what do? We are going to continue to monitor these developments for you.
Coming up, we're going to have some new information about the death of former.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. It's 4:39 right now, and we have some sports headlines and an interesting and sad update. You know, there have only been 8 total captains in the history of the Nashville Predators, and that includes number 22, the man you see behind us, Greg Johnson. Johnson died by suicide in 2019, and now his family is opening up about his medical condition. It turns out after his death, medical experts were able to determine he had CTE.
Well, CTE is a progressive brain disease that health experts say primarily impacts people who have suffered concussions or repeated head injuries. After Johnson committed suicide back in 2019, his brain was analyzed by Boston University's CTE Center. Johnson spent 12 seasons in the NHL playing for the Red Wings, the Penguins, the Blackhawks, and yes, the Predators. During his 7-year career with the Predators, he scored 93 goals in 502 games.
Johnson also named the club's second captain in team history. Tom Fitzgerald was the franchise's first, and then Johnson was named the captain after that from 2002 to 2006, and you can see it on the list here. And then he retired after an irregular heartbeat was discovered during a physical. Preds analyst Robbie Stanley remembers the impact that Greg Johnson had on the team, especially in the early stages of the franchise.
He was an extremely popular player amongst his teammates, and you're talking about a guy that kind of embodied what the early Predators were. I mean, he was a guy that was scrappy. He wasn't the most talented guy on the ice, but he worked really, really hard. And those early Predators years, those early Predators teams, I think were kind of embodied by guys like that.
Well, Johnson's family said concussions during his playing years were a factor in ultimately his decision to retire.
Man, now if you or anyone you know is struggling with suspected CTE symptoms, you can find more information on a helpline that we've just put on our website, fox17.com. And I know I speak for a lot of people in, you know, when you look at the sports community and these cases, you know, the hope is that one day they're able to test for this before it's too late.
Yeah.
And so that may be years down the road, but certainly an important story to bring to the forefront.
Right now, though, we do want to check in for another Steer Clear traffic update. I know, Jen, you've been asking, what the heck is this on the exit?
Yeah.
This is a live look, I-24 at Bradley Parkway. We've been following this since about 4 o'clock when we got started. The good news is you can see the flashing lights. The TDOT crews are out there. They're trying to get this thing out of the way. You know, Jen, we saw a lot of folks who were kind of pausing, pumping the brakes there.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a bit of a holdup here.
Well, it is because those folks are trying to get off this exit ramp from Briley to get on 24, and you can't do that. So if you are going to get on Briley Parkway this morning north of Nashville to get on 24, you need to go ahead and plan a detour now, or, you know, plug in your directions on Waze and see what a good alternate would be for you, depending on where you're coming from. In the meantime, we're going to work to see how they're going to get this thing out of the way. Our producer, our executive producer, Mel, was telling me in the background, at one point, TDOT zoomed in on what looked like a wide load truck. So she was wondering whether something fell off of some kind of, you know, wide load shipment. We're still working to find out. We'll let you know as soon as we do.
Coming up in your forecast, you're working through heat and humidity. Nothing happening this morning. Sunrise about 45 minutes away from right now. It's going to be a beautiful one. We'll take a look at how many days could be up near triple.
Welcome back. In Operation Crime and Justice this Thursday morning here on Fox 17 News, we are continuing to report on city leaders who are now stepping up when it comes to taxi cab issues. Now, this comes after speaking with taxi cab companies who are pointing fingers at the Transportation Licensing Commission for not regulating drivers.
All right, so who's responsible here? Who is going to step up and take action? Fox 17 News reporter Madeline Nolan joining us live right now, working to get answers. She's on Lower Broadway, where so many people would pick up a taxi to get home. Madeline, we understand there's now going to be a meeting that happens regarding all this.
Yes, and that's right. Actually, I did want to add on to that. When we first arrived here, we saw multiple taxi cab companies lined up here waiting to take people home. But with that being said, a council member, Jacob Cupin, along with these taxi companies, are planning to meet with Metro Police as well as the Transportation Licensing Commission, hoping to get a grasp on this issue. Now, according to both the Yellow Cab and Nashville Checker Cab managers, the overcharging by drivers is getting out of control. They tell us it's because these drivers don't start the meters and they're getting away with it, pointing to the lack of accountability from the TLC. This after Fox 17 continues to hear horror stories about Nashville taxi cab experiences.
It's kind of scary that the only option are people who seem like they want to hurt you or kidnap you or something.
These drivers are blatantly overcharging tourists and conventioners 5 and 6 times the rate. It's giving our city a bad name. I get probably 30 or 40 calls a week.
Now, Fox 17 News has requested multiple interview requests with TLC, but they keep declining offering statements saying that these reports are looked at on a case-by-case basis. Now, we want to know what they're doing to regulate these drivers and ultimately address the numerous safety concerns spewed on social media. Now, on top of this meeting tomorrow, Councilwoman Emily Benedict has also taken to social media saying that she also plans to meet with the TLC on this issue at their meeting next Thursday. Live on Broadway, Madeline Nolan, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Madeline, thank you. So we're curious, what do you think about this topic? Do you feel like Nashville needs more regulations and enforcement on taxis and ride shares? And look at our results of our poll right now. 70% of you say yes, you think there needs to be more done. If you scan the QR code right there on your screen, it will take you straight to our Fox Nashville Twitter account where you can vote and leave us a comment.
All right, 447, we always like to say this is Baby Friday.
Yes, it is.
Gearing up for the weekend.
Well, thanks for the reminder.
Oh, you're welcome. We're also gearing up for, well, oppressive temperatures, you could say.
Yeah. You said we're already in Code Red for next week.
Monday and Tuesday are going to be Code Red days. I'm telling you right now. Okay. I mean, that's what we're going to be. Heat index values will be about 105 to 110 both of those days. So it's a slow progression to get there, but each day gets a little bit muggier. Each day gets a little bit hotter leading up to Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So we're going to call the muggy meter the same spot it was at the end of yesterday. The beginning of the day wasn't all that bad, but humidity's picked up just a little bit here. This morning we've cooled down enough to where you don't feel it yet, but once that sun comes up by 8, 9 o'clock this morning, you will notice the mugginess out there. And that's only going to get worse and worse. We'll be in the oppressive category starting tomorrow, and we don't look back. We keep it there all the way through Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Ooh, hello. High pressure. I guess it's right over us, you could say. There you go. I'm telling you, it is. That's why we're crystal clear overnight into this morning. I do want to show you this on the back side of this. Now, this is not a guarantee, and I don't buy into it with full force, but given how much moisture we've got to work with, from barrel moving in and out, you can see the arrow moving here. It's pulling in moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. We have the possibility to see a couple of raindrops late morning into the early afternoon in a few very isolated areas. You can see the little specks of green there. They are nothing impressive or to write home about, but the possibility that you might catch 1 or 2 and a couple of clouds can't be ruled out. Most of us stay mainly sunny. Great for tea times today. This is the best day to golf in the next 7 because it's the least hot day. I don't say it's cool. It's the least hot day. 77 degrees at 9 a.m., 87 at noon, 91 degrees at 3 p.m. So morning, afternoon, evening tea times are all looking just fine. A cloud or 2 might actually end up being beneficial. And taking a look, temperatures still staying that way outside as well. This is the best day to get outside, try doing a little bit of yard work, getting some things done before this happens. 96 degrees tomorrow, after a 92-degree high today. 98 on Saturday, 99 on Sunday. Wouldn't be shocked if we could possibly hit 100 on Monday. I've got a 20% chance for a shower or storm. Anywhere that sees a little bit of rain on Monday will cool down the air just enough to not hit 100. But Tuesday, very good chance to hit triple digits. And again, Monday and Tuesday, red boxes are there. Code red for heat and dangerous levels of humidity.
All right, Greg, thank you so much for our hot update. 4:49 is the time, and we do want to check right back in here. We've been following this for about an hour or so. I-24 at Briley Parkway, that exit ramp north of Nashville, we can see a disabled vehicle. In fact, we see one that is blocking this area. We're trying to figure out what it is that is now fallen onto its side. What is blocking this area? The good news is that you can see a lot of flashing lights. I saw just a minute ago another vehicle pull up trying to remove what it is sitting there. We're trying to get to the bottom of this and figure out a good way that they can get this out of here, that you can avoid this issue. We'll continue sharing any kind of detours and more traffic updates throughout 9 o'clock, though.
450 right now. All kinds of recent polls have put the economy as the #1 issue top of mind for voters right now. The Federal Reserve Chair addressing lawmakers on Capitol Hill as there are a lot of questions about the state of our economy, inflation, and the future of interest rates. Fox News' Atra El-Nashar reports with an update this morning.
In the labor market,
Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell giving Congress a read on the economy during a volatile time for inflation, interest rates, and politics.
we're growing at around 2%, it feels like. Inflation is down to 2.6%. Unemployment's at 4.1. These are good numbers.
But he's aware that as painful as inflation is, the Fed's high interest rates come with their own sting, making it more expensive for individuals and businesses to borrow money.
To bring inflation down, the Fed has been working on with restrictive policy on cooling demand. That has been working, and the supply side has been healing.
Moody's Analytics chief economist Mark Zandi says now is the time for the Fed to cut rates, arguing a steady rise in unemployment and declining inflation makes it hard to justify a restrictive 5.5% federal funds rate. Only one rate cut is expected this year, likely not until September at the earliest. Powell, who holds firm the Fed's apolitical role, is also confronted with a conservative proposal to eliminate the Fed's dual mandate of price stability and maximum employment detailed in Project 2025, the Heritage Foundation's blueprint for a Republican-led federal government. Former President Trump has tried to distance himself from Project 2025, but its proposed Fed overhaul was written by Paul Winfrey, who served as a top domestic policy official in the Trump White House. Accusing the Fed of operating on political motives, Winfrey writes, the only permanent remedy is to take the monetary steering wheel out of the Federal Reserve's hands and return it to the people.
Having an independent central bank is really essential. If you want to have high and volatile inflation, then the quickest road to that would be to undermine the independence of the central bank.
Powell once again telling lawmakers he and his colleagues are encouraged by recent inflation reports, but they still need more proof inflation is falling, and that could come as soon as Thursday with the release of June's Consumer Price Index. On Capitol Hill, I'm Atra El-Nashar.
Atra, thank you. Coming up, Fox 17 News talking about a mid-state animal shelter desperately needing help for the animals that continue coming in.
And at 4:53 right now, how hot is it? We asked that question over on my face.
It's from CoverGirl.
.455 is the time, and right now Fox 17 News showing you a live look on an always busy Lower Broadway. But right now, the beer trucks are busy getting everything ready for this Thursday. We are already, I should say, tracking what could be a very hot next week with code red weather alerts. Right now, though, we're focusing on the weekend, and our code red meteorologist Greg Bobus is going to tell you how you can get ready. You might want to be near a pool.
So how hot is it? Well, you've seen people fry eggs on a sidewalk or maybe bake cookies in a hot car. Well, it's hot enough in Vegas to melt crayons. What? And yeah, we've got some folks having a little bit of fun with it, as much fun as you can have when it's 120 degrees.
Oh my gosh.
The National Weather Service out there making a time-lapse video to better show what 120 degrees will do. And as you can see, it'll melt the crayons and create a beautiful work of art.
I mean, I know that's really, really hot.
Yeah.
And you don't want to do this, but it is cool to look at.
It is pretty. I know art teachers who have done this with hair dryers.
Oh, okay.
To mimic the same kind of artwork. By the way, though, folks, I mean, 120, yes, it is so hot, but it's what they're used to in parts of the desert Southwest, having lived through it.
Okay, I know they're used to it, but do they ever really truly say, oh, this is okay?
Well, I mean, it's like it is what it is. You can't change it. You either live there and you deal with it, or you get out, like we did.
We're going to check in now with our Code Red meteorologist. Like I said, you're going to want to be near a pool this weekend if you can be.
Definitely will want to. I mean, 92 today is kind of where we're supposed to be, so not that 120 situation they're dealing with right now. They have excessive heat warnings in Vegas, so they don't typically get excessive heat warnings because they just have excessive heat. So, yeah, 120 to 147, that's the melting point for crayons. That's impressive. 92 here back home. Bright sunshine all morning into the afternoon. Might catch a cloud here or there, but sunnier than cloudier when it comes to the overall forecast. More humidity builds in slowly day by day until we get here for the weekend. 98 on Saturday, 99 on Sunday. Much hotter. Heat index of just above 100 for both of those days. The heat index values of 105 to 110 for us on Monday and Tuesday. Muggy, muggy nights ahead. So the question is, no one to mow. I mean, we don't have any rain that we have to really worry about the next couple of days, aside from these smallest of little pop-up weak showers that may top the radar during the peak heating of the day, but I'm not really even buying into those. No significant rain in the next 5 to 7 days. You can mow all 3 days. You just saw the temperature, though. You want to be out there when it's nearly 100 on Saturday? I don't. I would do it today. Today, just to get it done. And we can be set. The lawn's not going to grow all that much in the next week. So little rainfall has come down lately, and we're going to have so little of it that at least, if you get the mowing done right now, it might last you a little bit longer than it did earlier, say, in May and early June. Code Red Weather app, there it is. I tell you every morning to get it. Why don't you have it yet? Go get it. Go to the app stores, Google Play Store. You can also just scan the QR code on your screen right there. You have the radar with you. You don't need it right now, but those hour-by-hour temps are really going to help this weekend.
Right now, steer clear traffic at 458. Well, I wouldn't say the cavalry is here yet, but we do have a lot of first responders still blocking off the exit here from Briley Parkway to get on I-24. This is a huge interchange for folks who are trying to get up to Clarksville. If you are north of Nashville, you right now cannot get off Briley Parkway to get on 24 to go toward Jolton, Springfield, Pleasant View, or Clarksville. You're going to have to take a detour. Good detour would be taking Whites Creek Pike or Highway 41 and take the back roads to get around this. We're also still working to find out exactly what it is. Lots of guesses here. If you're watching with us this morning, what do you think it is? We've guessed perhaps a shipping container of some sort, maybe a shed. Greg said, is it somebody's she shed? But something has come off of a trailer transporting this thing, and it is blocking that exit ramp. So we'll keep an eye on this for you and get you more updates in our 5 o'clock hour.
Meanwhile, in your community, there is a Middle Tennessee animal shelter that is trying to find out partners that can help for hundreds of animals that need a forever home. Staffers over at True Rescue in Mount Juliet rescued more than 400 animals since the first of this year, which is why they say they're now in dire need of volunteers and fosters. But more than anything, they say they need some folks to go ahead and give these animals a permanent home.
For every cat that gets adopted, we're able to bring at least one more in. So for every life you save, that's actually saving the lives of 2.
Well, Amy Simic says the rescue has become a destination for tourists looking to spend some time around the animals on their way to Nashville. The rescue is open 7 days a week, including holidays. If you would like to adopt or make a donation, go to fox17.com. Right now, though, stay with us. Our 5 o'clock hour is starting right now.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Money laundering in a small town. Police say a city alderman and his wife may have been involved. We'll take you there in minutes.
Plus, hear the latest from Trinity Bostick's friends and family as the teen accused of killing her is set to appear in court today.
Waking up sun coming up here in the next half hour for us. We'll get it all day long, but that also comes with heat and an increase in humidity. How much worse it'll be by the weekend in your forecast.
All right, thanks so much for waking up with us here on a Thursday morning. For Fox 17 News, I'm Erica Glover.
I'm Jennifer Waddell. Let's get straight to our top stories new this hour. And we do begin with breaking news from Antioch. Another shooting reported in that part of town. It happened overnight. We've got a map right now to show you the Antioch fire station where one person showed up with gunshot wounds. Police say they drove themselves there. And this is the fire station just off Murfreesboro Pike near Forest View Drive. Police have not told us where the initial shooting happened. We just know the victim showed up at the fire station. We'll bring you more information as it comes in.
We also are following a criminal investigation underway this Thursday morning after human remains were found over in Springfield. We're mapping it out for you where police are currently working. Now, police tell us they believe they have found the body of Apolinar Sardinia Garcia, initially reported missing back on the 12th of June. We will work to get some more updates as new information becomes available.
And top stories around the country this morning. The House of Representatives passed a bill requiring people to show proof of citizenship to vote. They call it the SAVE Act. It cleared the Republican-controlled House just yesterday. It requires you to provide proof of citizenship to register to vote in federal elections. Right now, that is up to states to clearly state whether that's the law. The bill now heads to the Senate, where if even a few Democrats get on board and cross party lines, it could pass. But the president has said he would veto it, which is prompting concerns of voter fraud ahead of the presidential election. In fact, House Speaker Mike Johnson said, quote, if just a small percentage of a fraction of illegal immigrants that Joe Biden has brought here to vote, if they do vote, it wouldn't just change one race, it would potentially change all of our races. And that's the quote there from Speaker Mike Johnson.
We're also following weather updates out of Texas. Nearly 3 days after Hurricane Beryl slammed Texas, millions of residents are still without power in very hot conditions. According to poweroutage.us, more than 1.3 million customers do not have power this Thursday morning. Last night, CenterPoint Energy said it restored power, though, to more than 1 million customers impacted by the Category 1 storm.
And we unfortunately have a major heat wave that is blanketing so much of the country, including Texas right now, where all that power is out. We know right now a heat wave is to blame for at least 28 deaths. Now, most of them in California and Oregon, but certainly concerns in Texas and even all the way up to Maryland. As of this morning, more than 135 million people are under heat alerts. And we just found out from Greg a little while ago, he's putting us in a code red weather alert for Monday and Tuesday because of the heat here.
Yeah, this ahead of time. I'm telling you right now, Monday and Tuesday are the hottest, most dangerous, and most humid days we're going to have in the forecast. So those 2 days are going to be the days we have to watch most carefully. Today is okay, even through the weekend, no code red weather, but Monday and Tuesday, the heat. You just can't escape it. There's no escaping the heat, even in the shade. Now, today, not that bad. Lower 90s, warmer than yesterday. A little more humidity than yesterday, but lots of sweet sunshine today. Sun coming up for us here in the next half hour. Taking a look. Code red next week, absolutely, on your Monday and Tuesday. All clear in the meantime, though. Between now and then, the heat's going to be there, and you're going to feel the humidity, but it's not going to be to a dangerous to your health kind of a category. 69 degrees right now. We are crystal clear. We're a little bit cooler than yesterday morning because we don't have any cloud cover out there. So you kind of get 1-2 good things back to back here. Taking a look at a few more hometown temperatures, got to show off the plateau. Look at that. Upper 50s and low 60s. By far the best start to a day we're going to have for the rest of our 7-day forecast, because take a look at what's coming our way. We got a lot of heat. 92 degrees today, 96 tomorrow, upper 90s Saturday and Sunday. The red boxes are there Monday and Tuesday as we're near 100, with the heat index values upwards of 105 degrees.
5:05 is the time. Right now we're heading right back out here to show you another updated I-24 at Bradley Parkway. What I just noticed is that someone pulled over further up from where this vehicle is disabled, blocking the exit with their lights on. You can see them there. And Jen, you said, hey, they're probably trying to figure out where they're going to go next to get around the situation.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want you to get in this kind of trouble spot, so heads up now. If you take Bradley Parkway north of Nashville to get on I-24 to go up toward Clarksville, Jolton, Pleasant View, Springfield, you can't get off that exit ramp because something is blocking that ramp right now. What it is, we're still working to find out. But don't get stuck here. Good detours would be Whites Creek Pike or Highway 41, that's Clarksville Highway, to get up toward Clarksville. Lots of police and TDOT are here. And by the way, this is the only problem in steer clear traffic right now. The rest of your commute looks totally fine. You got the green light to get out and go.
Well, smart, genuine, and full of love is how Trinity Bostic's friends are remembering her. Meanwhile, today, this Thursday, the man accused in her death is going to make his first court appearance.
This is a story that our Fox 17 News reporter Johnny Maffey has been following from the beginning. He joins us live right now outside the Sumner County Courthouse to walk us through what to expect today.
Good morning, Jen and Erica. So the 17-year-old male charged with killing Trinity Bostic, he's making his first detention hearing later this afternoon right here at the Sumner County Courthouse. And I did speak with the Sumner County District Attorney General Ray Whitley this week on the phone, who does plan on filing a petition to try that 17-year-old as an adult, and that comes in the next step, which we'll talk about in a moment. But Trinity Bostic, she went missing back on June 29th, and she was found deceased on July 3rd. A friend of Bostic's told me on the phone that Bostic knew the teen that is accused of killing her, and Bostic's family is also not pleased with the lack of social media pushes when the 17-year-old was missing from law enforcement, which we will be talking about throughout this morning. But again, the detention hearing coming up today at 1 p.m., and that's when the judge will decide whether that 17-year-old male remains in custody or not. Again, he has not been identified yet. And then a transfer hearing would happen, and that transfer hearing is when the petition would be filed by the District Attorney General to try the teen as an adult. And media has been denied access, as far as we know, for the hearing coming up today, but we will be following the situation very closely. Live this morning in Gallatin, I'm Johnny Maffey, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Johnny, thank you very much. It is 5:08 right now, and a 23-year-old soldier, the woman you see here on your screen, found dead in her home. Fort Campbell soldier and Fox 17 News has now learned more about how she died as the calls for justice ramp up.
And we also want to let you know that the Davis.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. Your time is 5:10. We have a small town alderman and his wife accused of money laundering and selling drugs right here in Tennessee. This is in Deckard. Alderman Justin Stubblefield and his wife, Paige Stubblefield, now charged with conspiracy to distribute oxycodone.
Well, this comes after police say they investigated 2 overdose deaths. By the way, Deckard, if you're not familiar, it's an area close to Chattanooga. Police believe the 2 victims bought drugs from this couple. Our Fox 17 News team, we reached out to the city of Deckard trying to get their perspective, their comment. This morning, we are still waiting for their response.
And Fox 17 News is learning more right now about the death of a Fort Campbell soldier. Her body found in her home back in May. Here's what we have learned. After looking at the autopsy reports from the Montgomery County Medical Examiner's Office, we have learned that Katia Aguilar was stabbed 68 times. The medical examiner ruling her death a homicide. As of now, the Clarksville police and the Army criminal investigators still have not identified a suspect, and her family is furious over that. They are offering a reward for information that would lead to an arrest.
Coming up in your forecast, sun's starting to come up for us here this morning. We're going to have plenty of that for most of the next 7 days. We need rainfall. We'll try our best to find the next day for a shower or storm on our forecast.
And if you're heading to Clarksville, this issue right here for the exit is going to be causing you some headaches, some issues. T-Dot on the scene. We'll share another update, I-24 Briley Parkway, after the break.
Fox 17 is partnering with Feeding America for Sinclair Care's Summer Hunger Relief. Scan this QR code to help provide meals for children and families in our local community.
Don't spend another boring summer at home. Take the whole family on a day trip to Beach Bend Park in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Children's rides, family rides, thrill rides, water slides, games, food, and daily shows. So much fun, so close to home. Visit beachbend.com for discounts.
If you've been injured in a car accident, call Pound Law from your cell phone. Morgan & Morgan.
Look out, 'cause here I come. Have you always had trouble losing weight and keeping it off? Same.
Discover the power of Wegovy.
And I'm marching on to the beat I drum.
With Wegovy, I lost 35 pounds. And some lost over 46 pounds.
Wegovy. And I'm keeping the weight off.
Wegovy helps you lose weight and keep it off. I'm reducing my risk. Wegovy is the only FDA-approved weight management medicine that's proven to reduce risk of major cardiovascular events in adults with known heart disease and with either obesity or overweight.
Wegovy shouldn't be used with semaglutide or GLP-1 medicines. Don't take
They put an employee of the TLC into a cab on Broadway or at Opryland or coming out of the airport, and when the driver overcharged them or didn't turn on that meter, boom.
They're in charge of regulation and enforcement, and they refuse to do anything. They say they're understaffed.
Fox 17 News has requested multiple interviews with the TLC, but they keep declining, offering statements instead, saying that these reports are looked at on a case-by-case basis. Now, we want to know what they're doing to regulate these drivers and ultimately address the numerous safety concerns spewed on social media. And on top of this meeting happening tomorrow, Councilwoman Emily Benedict says that she took to social media saying that she will also be meeting with the TLC to talk to them about this same issue at their meeting come next Thursday. Live on Broadway this morning, Madeline Nolan, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Madeline, thank you. Hopefully you had the chance to get outside yesterday and enjoy a little bit of relief when it comes to humidity.
It was nice yesterday, wasn't it?
Truly was, yeah. And I saw a lot of people out at the park yesterday walking the dogs, getting everything done. Well, it was a good day.
Yeah.
And now we're going to just slowly work into a new heat wave here. It's not going to be an instant thing where immediately today is terrible. But day by day, everything gets a little bit worse when it comes to those two categories. Right now, a different start to our day than yesterday in two good ways. We're a little bit cooler because we're clear. So a nice sunrise happening for us here as we speak. Sun's starting to come up over the horizon, and then we'll see temperatures quickly climb. Unlike yesterday where we stayed cool a lot longer because we were overcast. That's not the case. We're starting off cooler, though, in the upper 50s and low 60s in the plateau, and right near 70 in the Nashville area. Yesterday was a good biking day. Today is good, too. I would avoid the early to middle afternoon hours here when we get above the 90-degree mark, but this evening closer to sunset looks great. This morning looks perfect for it. Nothing happening out there on the radar. Maybe you have to wash the vehicle. It'll last you quite a while if you do. Go ahead and give it a wash later today. Your Thursday, your Friday, your Saturday are all wash, wash, wash. No storms all 3 days. And honestly, we could use the rain, but we're going to keep it away until likely Monday into Tuesday of next week, which are also our next code red weather alert days. But those are alert days not for storms. It's for the heat and humidity. Speaking of alerts, barbecue alert. Oh, it's a good grilling week for sure. Every day, again, keeping it dry, just a little hotter each day during the afternoons and evenings. 92 at 5 o'clock, 90 at 6, and 88 degrees at 7. Just a couple of on and off clouds. That's it. Not much of a breeze, so that won't mess with your heat or your flame, whether you're charcoal or a gas grill. Looking at the forecast going ahead, let's talk about it. Here we go. 96 degrees tomorrow, 98 on your Saturday, 99 on Sunday. I've put red boxes for code red heat and humidity on Monday and Tuesday. Those days could feel between 105 and 110 for a good portion of both of those days. So those are the next days that are going to give us a little cause for concern when it comes to dangerous heat.
All right, Greg, thank you so much. Steer clear traffic time, and this continues to be the only problem right now on your morning commute. So if you're waking up with us and you've got anywhere to be, you are in the green, good to go everywhere but right here. And this is Briley Parkway, where you get off Briley to get on I-24 to go up toward Clarksville, Pleasant View, Jolton. The exit currently shut down. We are still in communication with TDOT and Metro workers to find out what in the world is blocking the exit ramp. We've had tons of guesses, but still no confirmation. All we can tell you is that this exit is shut down. So detour this morning for you. If you're north of Nashville and you take Briley to get to 24, you could take Whites Creek Pike or 41 to get north, and then you could jump on like Old Hickory Boulevard and keep going. But continuing to work to find out what this is for you, and just as soon as we find out, we'll let you know.
We're also following more national headlines. The Biden administration is now allowing 500-pound bombs to be sent to Israel. The shipment, though, was paused nearly 3 months ago. U.S. leaders say they were initially concerned about the larger bombs that might be used by Israel to attack Rafah and then result in what they say would be too many innocent deaths.
Right, and so the big concern here was that our shipments to Israel included these 500-pound bombs and 2,000-pound bombs in the same shipment. They paused those shipments because they were worried about the 2,000-pound bombs doing more destruction. So that was the big issue here. But again, as Erica mentioned, shipments have now resumed to Israel in the war against Hamas, with those 500-pound bombs now on their way.
More international headlines now. We do understand the Department of Justice says they have squashed a Russian-led attempt to spread disinformation in the U.S. Hundreds of social media accounts allegedly used by Russian operatives have now been shut down. Now, this announcement comes as U.S. intelligence officials say they are on increased alert for foreign powers trying to disrupt the upcoming presidential election.
Fox 17 News continuing to hear your stories about flood damage in White House, Tennessee. Take a look at the pictures here on your screen. Would you want this in your backyard? We'll tell you why neighbors are fed up with the lack of response as Fox 17 News works to get more answers.
And real quick, we're looking at what's trending over on fox17.com. Okay, this is...
We have tried to remediate this and met with the city of White House, and so far no resolution has come to fruition.
Oh man, I'll tell you, neighbors in White House, Tennessee are frustrated. They say they're fed up because city leaders, they say, are not protecting their homes from flooding.
It's an ongoing issue we have covered here on Fox 17 News, and this video is Shauna Hurt's home surrounded by water back in May. Look at this. And then it flooded again less than 2 months later. The house located on Tyson Lane in White House is not in a floodplain. Hurt says over the years she has racked up, get this, more than $100,000 worth of damages.
You have this feeling of hopelessness. You know, on the June 30th flood, I cried for hours as the floodwaters were rising around our property. And then it turned into anger and frustration because 2 days prior to the flooding events, My AC units were just replaced from the May 8th flood, and they were on there for 36 hours before they flooded out again.
Oh my goodness. Fox 17 News has reached out to the City of White House. We want to know how they plan to address these flooding concerns. They tell us they're working with TEMA, the Tennessee Emergency Management Agency, and the Stormwater Advisory Board to talk about how to fix this. Now, we know, having talked to other neighbors, in fact, just a couple weeks ago, we talked to another gentleman who lives in this area. Same concerns. He said at the time that there had been some city workers coming out looking at potential drainage issues, who at the time claimed that it didn't appear to be a drainage issue, but he begged to differ, right? So you can see the statement that has been sent to Fox 17 News reporter Kylie Walker. This is Gerald Herman, the city administrator, saying we are aware of the issues that have affected several families in the city of White House June 30th. So we've got more of our in-depth reporting at fox17.com, and you can bet we'll stay on top of this story, working to get answers.
Now, Greg has told us the rain chances are slim to none for the next couple of days or so, right?
Yeah, so let's look at what has happened and where we're at and why this is such a unique experience here for most folks that are just watching this here, seeing all the video from White House. But you might be down in Tullahoma or Lewisburg or Lawrenceburg and go, I've gotten almost no rain in the last month. This is the percentage of rain we've gotten over the last 30 days. The smaller the number, the worse. If all these said 100, we'd be perfect. The lower the number, the more of a drought we have. But you get right along the state line, you get into northern middle Tennessee, you get into southern Kentucky, there's been a surplus of way too much rain in some areas that have caused these flooding episodes on and off throughout the season. So it's been very hit and miss of who's gotten the heavier rainfall. We don't have much at all in the next 7 days. So no concerns for flooding here in the next week, week and a half. That means that you're keeping the garden going yourself. There's no one else doing it but you here when it comes to watering. And we're going to be very hot. So the timing is everything. 77 at 9 a.m., 87 degrees at noon, 91 at 3. Not that bad. Low 90s. Fairly typical for this time of the year, but just know that, think about a stoplight. The green hours are when you want to water. The yellow hours, they still will work. The red hours, please don't do it. It does not do much good for your plants. It could actually damage the root structure, especially in potted plants. Keep that in mind. Right in the morning after sunrise, right before sunset, that's the best way to set them up to feel good and to just keep trying to thrive here through all this. I do have a little bit of good news. The 8 to 14 day climate outlook for us here. So we're talking toward the end of the month, basically. The chance for rain does go back up a little bit. That has us in the green shade here. But when I say a little, it's not much. We have a long way to go to catch up to where we're supposed to be for this time of the year. We're about 2 inches under where we should be for rainfall since the beginning of the month of June.
All right, Greg, thank you very much. At 5:27 right now, good news. Help has arrived. It looks like we've got some type of an offloader and maybe a big truck to get this shipping container, and that's just what it looks like here. Some kind of container off of the exit from Briley to I-24. It's been blocking it for what, an hour and a half now?
Yes.
So good news here at Development and Steer Clear Traffic. We'll check this out.
Big old help with a cherry on top. Come on, it's Saturday.
Tracking storms, what you'll need to prepare now for the week ahead. Today at 5:30. You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Now on Fox 17 News this Thursday morning, the first court appearance for the killing of Trinity Bostic is happening today. What we now know about the suspect and what Trinity's family says authorities should have done differently.
Controversies, infighting, questions about money, all plaguing the Metro Nashville Arts Council. The mayor's office now stepping in. What he plans to do, addressing your tax dollars at work.
We had the sunshine starting off this morning, a little fog in a couple of areas, but the big story here now turns back to heat and humidity, and it's going to be a long stretch, folks. We'll see how long it will be coming up in a few minutes.
Greg, thank you, and thanks y'all for waking up with us here on a busy Thursday morning. For Fox 17 News, I'm Erica Glover.
I'm Jennifer Waddell. We are your live local news source, always here for you through 9 a.m. One of our top stories this morning here locally at home, happening today. The teenager who was charged with killing 17-year-old Trinity Bostic will have his first detention hearing.
Fox 17 News' Johnny Maffey is joining us live right outside of the Sumner County Courthouse after speaking with family and friends who say there is something that went very wrong here.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So I spoke briefly with Trinity Bostic's father on the phone yesterday. He didn't want to say anything due to the ongoing investigation, but I also caught up with one of her friends who says that funeral earlier this week, it was a beautiful ceremony. She says there's a lot of purple in the crowd, which was their way of honoring Trinity. But again, today, 1 p.m. is when the detention hearing is. This is the first appearance for the 17-year-old male accused of killing Trinity Bostic, and that male has not yet been identified, but a friend does tell us that the unidentified teen and Bostic knew each other. Now, when Bostic went missing back on June 29th, her half-sister Tasha Calcody tells us she was upset by the lack of social media posts from law enforcement. Now, the Macon County Sheriff's Office said it was because they knew she was not in Macon County, but missing persons advocates say, well, that's what social media is for, spreading info beyond the area. And again, so today, later on this afternoon, is the detention hearing, and that's when the judge will decide whether the teen, again, charged with first-degree murder, will remain in custody or not. And I did speak as well with the local district attorney general in Sumner County, Ray Whitley, and he says when the transfer hearing happens, and that will be the next step after the detention hearing, that's when he is going to file a petition to try the teen as an adult. And we are also told that media will not be allowed inside the courtroom with a camera or not with a camera, but we will be certainly following this case closely here in Gallatin. Live this morning in Gallatin outside the Sumner County Courthouse, I'm Johnny Maffey, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Johnny, thank you. It's 5:33. It's not every day that we talk about a story regarding the arts in a particular community. Not typically a lot of drama, right? That's not the case in Metro Nashville, where the Metro Arts Commission has been full of controversy. Let's set the stage and review here for a bit in case you're new to this story. Last year, the process for awarding grants to artists in Davidson County got changed, increasing grants to lesser known and minority artists. Well, we had Metro officials who pushed back on that over what they said were legal problems with that decision.
And now we have the mayor, Freddie O'Connell, who is releasing a new statement and announcing a plan for rooting out the disagreements and moving forward, which Metro Arts will vote on. The agreement, we understand, would add small artists and organizations to the groups eligible for funding. It also adds $565,000 in funding for those small artists this particular grant cycle. Now, artists who did not get funds because of conflict over the awards process will have an extended period to go ahead and then apply.
All right, so this is just the proposal from the mayor. And by the way, we need to point out here, the former executive director of the Arts Council was let go over disagreeing with what the council was doing. So this new proposal for the Arts Council has taken 3 months to put together. It now goes to the Metro Nashville Arts Commission for them to vote on it at a future meeting. We'll let you know what they decide.
Right now, we're going to check in and get your Thursday forecast. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning. Yeah, starting off here, very cool, comfortable. The humidity not bad yet, but everything begins to change going in toward the afternoon. Calm, dry pattern. That's not going to change here. Very limited chances for any rain between now and the upcoming Monday and Tuesday of next week. So the next 4 or 5 days looking pretty dry. Back to hot times the weekend and beyond, up in the upper 90s, close to 100 degrees. We have dangerous heat next Monday and Tuesday. I've already penciled those into the 7-day forecast as red boxes, meaning dangerous heat and code red days that we'll have to begin next week. Current temps right now, though, couldn't be much better. Look at this. We're almost all in the 60s. 58 your current temperature in Crossville, 61 in McMinnville, 69 degrees in Nashville proper, and then 71 in Lewisburg. That's only because we're clear right now. We're relatively clear, meaning we got to cool down a little bit more overnight, but coming up in the forecast, you'll see that's not going to be the case here moving forward. The 7-day forecast that we'll unpack in much more detail in the next check of your forecast goes from 92 today, 96 tomorrow, upper 90s, close to 100, 5 days in a row. We'll talk about humidity and any chances for rain between now and Monday coming up in a few minutes.
Greg, thank you so much. 5:36 is the time. We're taking you back out to what we've been following all morning long, but there is progress. It does look like a shipping container. We couldn't tell what it was in the dark. A shipping container is currently blocking this exit. This is I-24 Briley Parkway. You can see 6 different vehicles responding to this, Jen.
Yeah, and you know what, Erica, we've been playing this guessing game all morning as to what it is. It does look like some kind of shipping container. We also thought at one point maybe it looked like a shed. I'm trying to figure out, too, the more I look at it here, is it possible that it's some kind of dumpster? I don't know, it almost looks too big for that. But nonetheless, we do have help on the way.
Yeah, another vehicle pulling up here.
Yeah, they're going to try. They've got to get this thing out of the way because it's blocking your entrance to get on 24 to go to Clarksville. Good detours, Whites Creek Pike or Highway 41, which is Clarksville Highway. They'll get you north and then you can jump over to carry on.
Well, just ahead here on Fox 17 News, an issue that hit home in the mid-state weeks ago. Now we're revisiting citizenship and voting issues in the national spotlight.
A new way of having your say in a musician's concert. The event coming. Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. Voter fraud has become a topic of concern again this election cycle. Here in Tennessee, the Secretary of State's office sent out letters recently reminding voters you do have to have either proper citizenship status or documents to be legal to vote in federal elections.
And those letters also went out to some recent citizens, leading some to question about whether or not the letters would scare people away from voting. Now, when it comes to the national stage, the House of Representatives passed a bill requiring voters to show proof of citizenship in order to vote.
It is called the SAVE Act. It cleared the Republican-controlled House with 5 Democrats voting in favor as well. This legislation requires you to provide documentation proving citizenship to register to vote in federal elections. Right now, that is a state's issue, and not every state, in fact, there are some who argue no states have anything on the books to officially enforce that. Democrats claim it's not needed because it is a felony if you are a non-citizen and you try to vote in a federal election. But again, this goes back to the issue of how is it enforced. So the bill is not likely to pass the Democrat-controlled Senate. However, if there were a few Democrats, kind of like what happened in the House, if there were a few Democrats who got on board, it could pass. But the president has already said he would veto it as soon as it got to his desk.
5:41 our time. A quick check of your forecast. The big thing always is, are we in a code red or not for any specific reason? And the answer is no. We're all clear here today. It's going to be a little bit warmer this afternoon in the low 90s. Plenty of sunshine. Nothing to worry about. Good day to get out there, get some yard work done. No one to mow. You can do it all the next 3 days. Not much rainfall influence, though we will definitely have the heat building day by day. 92 today, 96 tomorrow, and upper 90s near 100 on Saturday. If you can handle the heat, you can do it all 3 days. But if you like it on the cooler side, this is your pick here for the next 6 days.
It's an all hands on deck, I should say, movement to try to get this shipping container or whatever it is off this exit, I-24 at Briley Parkway. This is north of Nashville, so for folks who are heading over to Clarksville, this is the issue that is blocking and making some travel headaches this Thursday morning. You can see multiple crews out there trying to get this thing out of the way. Now we see people who are standing there at the exit, Jen, just trying to get it out of there.
Yeah, it just looks like everybody's trying to get a game plan here, but they need to do it quickly before traffic ramps up. We're approaching our 6 o'clock hour when we do see an increase. We'll monitor this for you. Again, just want to remind you the detours. 431 or 41, the best ways to get up toward Clarksville this morning. And by the way, this is the only issue in steer clear traffic. Everywhere else, you've got the green light to get out and go.
And the taxi cab controversy continues, this time with city leaders hoping to take some action. I'll have more details coming up in just a moment.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. Time is 5:46. Our reporting here at Fox 17 News now prompting city leaders to step up when it comes to taxi cab concerns. Companies pointing fingers at the Transportation Licensing Commission for not regulating drivers.
So who's to blame here? Fox 17 News' Madeline Nolan is joining us live from Broadway this Thursday morning. Madeline, there is a new meeting that is going to be happening. When is it happening?
Well, according to both Jacob Cupin, a councilman here in Metro Nashville, along with these taxi companies, they plan to meet Friday with the TLC as well as Metro Police to maybe get a grasp on this situation as a whole. Now, according to both Yellow Cab and Nashville Checker Cab managers, the overcharging by drivers is getting out of control. Now, they tell us that it's because these drivers don't start the meters and they're getting away with it, pointing to the lack of accountability from the TLC. Now, this comes after Fox 17 continues to hear horror stories about Nashville taxi cab experiences.
it's kind of scary that the only option are people who seem like they want to like hurt you or kidnap you or something.
These drivers are blatantly overcharging tourists and conventioners 5 and 6 times the rate. It's giving our city a bad name. I get probably 30 or 40 calls a week.
Now, Fox 17 News has requested multiple interviews with the TLC, but they keep declining offering statements instead, saying that these reports are looked at on a case-by-case basis. But we really wanted to know what they're doing to regulate these drivers and ultimately address the numerous safety concerns spewed on social media. Now, on top of the meeting that will be taking place tomorrow, well, Councilwoman Emily Benedict took to social media yesterday saying that she will also be speaking with the TLC about this issue at their meeting next Thursday. Live on Broadway, Madeline Nolan, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Madeline, thank you. We're looking ahead here. There's a different take on concerts that is coming to Nashville this fall, and it's going to be an interactive show featuring a lot of top musicians. Tickets go on sale today, but it's interesting how they pick the songs and artists that are selected to go ahead and perform.
Yeah, it's a new take on a classic. The Red Bull Jukebox is supposed to happen at Ascend Amphitheater coming up October 2nd. Brothers Osborne, who you see here, the first guy you saw was Shabuzi, plus Priscilla Block. They're all set to perform. Fans get to pick the set list and the songs by casting a vote online. If you'd like to get involved in that, just head to fox17.com. Tickets go on sale at 10 o'clock this morning.
Shabuzi. I always like saying that.
Yep. Everybody, Tipsy, right? It's his take on Tipsy.
Hey, get this. Even the lizards are getting too hot in Arizona. Listen, if you do not like reptiles, look away.
Too hot to handle, apparently.
Yeah, so this lizard was spotted on a Phoenix freeway yesterday. State troopers trying to wrangle and catch it, but it managed to go ahead and escape into the drain. 2 reptile experts were able to pull it from the drain after quite a tussle there. Ooh, yikes. They safely captured it. Crews there are searching for the lizard's, family, other folks that could be there, the owner of that lizard. So wait a minute. Hold on now.
Wowzer.
This lizard just got free from its house, took off on the freeway? Okay, well, listen, we're going to check in now for our Code Red meteorologist. The point is, it's hot.
Yes.
So hot there that the lizards are on the freeway.
Well, now listen, I should say, all right, in Arizona, they have, and I don't know if you guys are at all familiar with the desert Southwest, lizards are not uncommon, especially the Gila monster. Do you know about the Gila monster?
I don't know about a Gila monster.
Okay,
no.
A Gila monster is a type of lizard that is native to and very common out there in Arizona.
Okay.
You'd see them in your backyard or out on a hike. Now the Gila monsters are the ones you have to watch out for. They lock jaws if they get a hold of you or your pet.
Oh, no. That means little Obi would be a wrap.
Yeah. Sorry, Greg.
Also,
didn't mean for that to take a turn, but here we are.
Have you ever seen a lizard lose its tail?
Yes.
It regrows.
I know.
It's really cool.
Fascinating things you learn here at 5:50 in the morning. I'm already walking away. What am I doing? Roll it. Here we go. What to wear here this morning? Get all the summer clothes going and have them all ready to go. Wash what you don't have ready to roll because the next 5-7 days are going to be very hot for us. Today is the beginning of that process. Stair-stepping up. What you don't see in the closet is any rain gear. We don't have anything to worry about when it comes to shower or thunderstorm activity here over the course of the next 4 to 5 days. Taking a look out the door here this morning. Temperatures are actually really nice to start the day. 68 degrees at 6 o'clock, 70 degrees at 7, 74 degrees at 8 a.m. Where are we heading? We're heading for the 90s later today. It's a very easy forecast as long as you know that we get up near 90 before we even get past lunchtime. 96 tomorrow. I've got to break down the upcoming weekend and why we're code red for Monday and Tuesday, why it's already on the 7-day. We'll do that in about 5 minutes.
All right, Greg, good to go. Thank you very much. Hey, steer clear traffic real quick. We've got a couple of things now we need to tell you about. First of all, checking back in on the biggest issue of the morning. This is Briley Parkway, north of Nashville, at the exit for I-24, trying to get up to, say, Clarksville. That big blue container has been blocking the exit ramp for almost 2 hours now. We do finally have a couple of tow trucks on scene. They're going to try to get this thing out of the way, but you need a detour, especially if you take Briley to get to I-24. The best detours would be 431 or 41 to get up toward Jolton, Springfield, Clarksville. The other issue that just popped up in steer clear traffic, we have a ton of debris on the road right now. I-65 at Harding Place. It looks like somebody blew a tire. and there is retread all over the interstate. So we'll give you a live look on that problem and how you can steer clear south of Nashville on I-65. That'll be coming up here in our next Steer Clear traffic report in just a few minutes. Right now, a new study suggests that your financial habits could predict declining brain function. Stay with me here. There is new information from the New York Federal Reserve and Georgetown University that shows lower credit scores and mortgage delinquencies over time, in other words, not paying your mortgage on time, over a course of time, could show that there is early onset dementia. The study claims on average, credit scores start faltering about 5 years ahead of a dementia diagnosis, and mortgage payment issues start building up about 3 years before a dementia diagnosis. Researchers want to create some kind of algorithm to officially connect these things to perhaps help predict dementia or Alzheimer's disease.
Coming up, actor Alec Baldwin on trial for a deadly...
Good morning. Just about 4 minutes before 6 o'clock and a live look into downtown Nashville to kick off your Thursday. Erica reminded us it's Baby Friday. Yeah. So we got all the good vibes as we go into the weekend, but hot ones too. A scorcher on the way today. Plus the intense heat ramps up as we get into the weekend and even next week. So we are monitoring a code red weather alert for next week because of that. We'll have more details in just a few minutes.
Right now, though, we have entertainment headlines. Actor Alec Baldwin was watching intently as trial prosecutors presented first responders' body-worn camera video from the deadly Rush shooting. We're going to go ahead and give you some updates. Listen here.
Okay, so first responders there loading up the victim in that shooting. Alec Baldwin had been rehearsing a scene when a replica gun that he was holding shot cinematographer Helena Hutchins and director Joel Souza in 2021. Hutchins got hit in the chest, airlifted from the scene. She later died. A responding officer recalls the minutes after the shooting.
At any point in time, did Mr. Baldwin tell you that he didn't pull the trigger of the gun?
I believe he told me he was holding the gun. I believe in the beginning when I was leaving the church, one of the guys said that Baldwin had pulled the trigger.
Well, Baldwin maintains that he pulled back the gun's hammer, but not the trigger. We do understand that he is charged with involuntary manslaughter and could face up to 18 months in prison if convicted.
Well, switching gears here a little bit, take a look at this. Kind of a sweet story coming to us from Tacoma, Washington, where police there showed up to rescue 2 people and a cat on a boat. They were having a lot of trouble here, and look at him pulling that cat out of the water there. This was kind of a crazy rescue. Water very cold there, and police there said that it's a good reminder that when you're on a boat, you need your life jacket, and so do your pets, just in case there's a scenario like this.
Well,
look at that fire. Wow.
Yikes. We're going to check in now to get your Thursday forecast. You know, I've never seen a cat with a leash on it. Did you see that?
I've not seen that either.
I mean, I've seen it. I've never done it. I've never walked my cat, but some people do.
Hey, you know what?
Maybe they had the leash on it just in case it tried to jump over.
Yeah. Thinking the same thing here too. As far as water goes today, great couple days to get out on the water, whether it's getting into a boat, whether it is the pool in the backyard, the community pool, whatever it might be. A body of water is going to be a good thing for you. 92 degrees later on today. Bright sunshine, more humidity today than yesterday. Sunset of 8:05. We get a ton of it for today. Looking ahead to the weekend, my thoughts on it. Well, flat out hot. Upper 90s on Saturday and Sunday. Close to 100, but when you factor in the humidity that's going to continue to build day by day into the weekend, heat index values above 100 degrees, muggy nights, no relief. That's that 24-hour cycle of heat and humidity that doesn't really break down into any cool times. Taking a look, Code Red Weather app, you can get it by scanning the QR code. Go to the App Store, Google Play Store, just type in Code Red, and it works for you when it comes to Doppler radar, but you really want the hour-by-hour temperatures because they soar very quickly throughout each morning here in the next 5 days. We'll look at all that as we go into our 6 o'clock half hour in a few minutes.
Greg, thanks so much. Couple things in Steer Clear traffic. First of all, want to get to the newest issue, and it does look like we've got police showing up as we speak. Man, this is good timing. Oh, look at this. We've got police and TDOT Showing up as we take this live look right now, it looks to be tire tread in the middle of I-65 at Harding Place. Last few minutes, we have watched countless cars and trucks try to dodge this. It's a blowout that spread all across the interstate. And so TDOT saying, do not pass. They've got 2 trucks here, plus police. They're going to get this out of the way. It does look like they're going to bring traffic to perhaps a full-on stop while they do that. Wouldn't recommend a detour at this point. This is, again, I-65 at Harding Place. And this is in the, let me just double check real quick here. This is going to be in the northbound lane. So if you were coming into Nashville from Brentwood or Franklin, heads up on this, going to cause a little bit of a delay. In our next Steer Clear traffic report, we'll check on that problem at I-24 at Briley Parkway north of town.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Right now on Fox 17 News this Thursday morning, Metro offices are closed today during a stubborn software outage. We're going to share the very latest updates.
And a deadly head-on crash leaves a Metro officer seriously injured. A live update in minutes.
We'll also have the latest from Trinity Bostick's family and friends as her accused killer is set to have his first court appearance this afternoon.
A lot to get to, but we do want to say thank you for waking up with Fox 17 News this Thursday morning. I'm Erica Glover.
I'm Jennifer Waddell. Glad to be here for you live through 9. Let's begin right now with some breaking news stories in our 6 o'clock hour. So as we speak, we're working more to find out about another shooting in Antioch happening overnight. What we know is, as we map it out here for you, a person showed up to an Antioch fire station with gunshot wounds. It's the one right off Murfreesboro Pike near Forest View Drive. Police have not been able to tell us where the shooting happened, just that the victim showed up to the fire department here. So we'll bring you more information as soon as that comes in.
Meanwhile, we are following breaking news and our Steer Clear traffic updates for you. This is I-65, Harding Place. Traffic is at a standstill now. Remember just a moment ago you were showing us where the TDOT trucks are pulling in there trying to get that tire tread off the interstate? Well, now this is the backup that's caused that. You see people trying to get off that exit there, trying to avoid the situation entirely.
All right, so I-65 at Harding Place. TDOT says this is in the northbound lanes. And again, all stop as they try to pull all those chunks of tire off of the interstate. Let's check the other issue. I know it's kind of hard to see because of the sun glare, but let that be the reminder. You need the shades when you go out today. We have first responders and tow trucks along with TDOT trying to move a shipping container that had been blocking the exit ramp from Briley to I-24 going toward Clarksville. You can't even take the exit right now because somebody either offloaded it in the middle of the ramp or it fell off. So they're trying to get that out of the way. Detours for this would be 431 Whites Creek Pike or Highway 41 Clarksville Highway to get up toward Clarksville here on your Thursday morning.
Man, that sun glare is something else. Let's check in now with our Code Red meteorologist because, I mean, it's a good sign of what's to come, more heat.
Yeah, heat and shades for days when it comes to your accessory. You don't need the umbrella for the foreseeable future. Here's what's new for you this morning. We are a little bit warmer this afternoon. The morning, not bad. Temperatures right now are actually fairly comfortable. It's the afternoons. We're back to the 90s for highs. No rain through the weekend in terms of any significant rain. 1 or 2 little light sprinkles are possible this afternoon and also tomorrow afternoon during the peak heating of the day. I'm not counting on rain. You shouldn't either. Likely dry until at least Monday of next week. Monday and Tuesday, definitely going to be code red days in our forecast for the humidity impact to the heat. We're going to be feeling like 105 to 110 on Monday and Tuesday. Right now the sun is up, the sun glare is abundant, and temperatures are starting to climb. What is the weather impact to traffic? There it is. Grab the shades. We're rain-free today. No real weather concerns to kick off the day except for that sun. We're good to go. I'm going to give it a green light when it comes to any potential slowdowns due to the weather here this morning. 92 degrees this afternoon, 96 tomorrow, and then we really crank it up and we don't look back. 98 on Saturday all the way into the middle of next week. We'll take a look at some ways you can beat the heat going in toward the weekend and some more thoughts on those 2 code red days for Monday and Tuesday.
All right, Greg, thank you so much. We do want to make sure that you are aware of a shutdown that is happening here in Metro this Thursday morning. The Metro Nashville County Clerk offices are going to be closed until further notice. That's because of some kind of software glitch, and they're trying to get to the bottom of this. The city says a technical software problem caused this shutdown, and the provider was working to solve it since before 11 a.m. yesterday, but they're not elaborating on the exact cause, what the main issue here is. They said a reopening could happen this morning, so we'll continue following this story and share some updates as soon as they get up and running.
6:04 and making headlines right now. Smart hardworking, genuine, full of love. Those are just a few of the ways that people have described Trinity Bostic. Her family and friends remembering her after her death, and now the investigation continues after a TDOT worker found her body in Hendersonville just last week.
Fox 17 News' Johnny Maffey has been following this case and the ongoing investigation. You're joining us live outside of the Sumner County Courthouse with more. Good morning, Johnny.
Good morning, Erica and Jen. So the 17-year-old male charged with killing Trinity Bostic, he's making his first court appearance, a detention hearing later this afternoon. Now, I did speak with the Sumner County District Attorney General Ray Whitley this week, and he tells me that he will plan on filing a petition to try that 17-year-old as an adult. Now, Trinity Bostic, she went missing, or at least was reported missing, back on June 29th, and her body was found deceased on July 3rd. And, well, what we're hearing from her friends is one friend telling us Bostic told me, a friend, that she did know the teen that was arrested and, again, accused, charged with first-degree murder. Bostic's family is not pleased with the lack of social media pushes when the 17-year-old was reported missing, but we will have more on that throughout the morning. Again, the detention hearing is today at 1 p.m., and that's when the judge is set to decide whether that teen remains in custody or not. And then after that, that's the next step. The transfer hearing is when the petition will be filed by the Sumner County District Attorney General on whether that teen is tried as an adult or not. And we are told that media is not allowed in the court room later on this afternoon, but we will certainly be following it closely. Live in Gallatin, I'm Johnny Maffey, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Well, new this Thursday morning, one man is dead and a Metro police officer is now facing serious injuries. This all happened after a head-on crash yesterday. The driver killed, though, has now been identified.
All right, so getting you updated here right now. Police tell Fox 17 News that Metro Police Homicide Sergeant Trevor Von Dolan was hit head-on by a car going the wrong way on Bell Road near Mountain View Road. This happened early yesterday morning. The crash killed the other driver, 26-year-old Carlos Atalano, who was from Antioch. You're looking at pictures from the scene there. Police say the sergeant was going to an investigation and did not have sirens or lights on at the time. But again, the other driver accused of going the wrong way, hitting him head on. As we get more developments, we'll bring them to you here live through 9.
Taxi cab companies, along with city leaders, are hoping to meet with more officials to really crack down.
Just about 6:10, and right now in Operation Crime and Justice, we are continuing to ask questions and get answers from city leaders who address the taxi cab issues that we are now getting some more information about. It puts both locals and tourists at risk downtown. Nashville taxi companies are telling us that no one is regulating taxis.
All right, so whether you're a local or a tourist and you need to get a ride from somewhere in downtown Nashville, this is a story you'll want to pay close attention to. Fox 17 News reporter Madeline Nolan joining us live downtown. Madeline, city leaders plan to meet tomorrow to address the issue that we have brought to the forefront.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Taxi companies alike are saying that this blatant overcharging is getting out of control. They're telling us that these drivers are not even starting the meters and they're getting away with it. Now, again, after our continuous coverage, taxi companies and Metro Councilman Jacob Cupin says that there will be a meeting Friday with these taxi companies, the Transportation Licensing Commission, as well as Metro Police to address and maybe even get to the bottom of this issue. Now, the managers of Yellow Cab and Nashville Checker Cab says that these issues with cab drivers is something that they can't control, but they're pointing their fingers to the TLC for lack of accountability.
What it would take is maybe 2 or 3 times a week they put an employee of the TLC into a cab on Broadway or at Opryland or coming out of the airport, and when the driver overcharged them or didn't turn on that meter, boom.
They're in charge of regulation and enforcement, and they refuse to do anything. They say they're understaffed.
Now, Fox 17 News has requested multiple interviews with the TLC, but they keep declining, instead offering statements saying that these reports are looked at on a case-by-case basis. But again, we want to know what they're doing to regulate these drivers. Now, on top of the meeting coming tomorrow, we also heard from Emily Benedict. She's a councilwoman here in Nashville. She took to social media saying that she also plans to meet with the TLC, saying that she really wants to get to the bottom of this issue as well. And that meeting will be taking place at the TLC's next commission meeting on next Thursday. Live here on Broadway, Madeline Nolan, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Madeline, thank you. 6:12 right now. We're following breaking news in steer clear traffic. Look at the backup right now. I-24 at Bell Road in Antioch. This is coming into Nashville. I want you to pay close attention to something. Do you see the smart board there that has the red X in the far right lane? That's telling you about this. We have a crash off to the right lane and right shoulder just up ahead. A car looks to have run into something. It's got a lot of damage to the front end, spun around, facing backwards. It almost looks like, too, we've got a little bit of a spill here. So we'll get you the best detours on this in steer clear traffic in minutes.
And y'all, this is not weather related. This is one of those mornings where absolutely nothing is going on.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. 6:15 is the time right now. Operation Crime and Justice. We take you to Deckard, Tennessee this morning. Really small town out near Chattanooga, where an alderman and his wife are both facing charges, police say, connected to 2 overdose deaths. All right, we take you there now, show you the pictures of Justin and Paige Stubblefield. Both are charged with conspiracy to distribute oxycodone in Deckard, Tennessee, as I mentioned, not far from Chattanooga. The alderman is also accused of money laundering. Police connected these two to the drugs that they say killed 2 men back in April. Now, police are still investigating those overdose deaths with the intent to charge anybody responsible with second-degree murder.
We now know the Gibson County Sheriff is pleading not guilty. Paul Thomas is charged with illegally profiting off the work of jail inmates and then housing dozens of them in a home right outside of the prison without permission. Prosecutors say Sheriff Paul Thomas, right here on your screen, directed more than $1.4 million of inmate wages and fees to a business he invested in. More than 80 inmates allegedly lived outside the prison at a transitional home, and the Department of Corrections was not aware. Thomas is still sheriff, though, of Gibson County. We do understand that he is charged with official misconduct, theft, forgery, and more charges. His lawyer says his next court hearing is set for October 22nd. Right now in sports news, Tennessee lawmakers formally congratulating the Vols baseball team for their College World Series win. Take a look here on your screen. Senator Marsha Blackburn and Representative Tim Burchett introduced that resolution to Congress, and it was co-sponsored, we understand, by the whole Tennessee delegation. So right now we're just taking a look at some of the video from the past parade, and we understand, of course, the Vols finished the season with an overall record of 60-13 and won the Southeastern Conference as well, giving them a big congratulations. At 6:17, we do want to check in with our Code Red meteorologist and let you know that yes, it's going to be another hot, steamy day. If you enjoyed the low humidity yesterday, guess what? It's over.
Yeah, just prepare now. I mean, this is what we have come to expect in Tennessee every summer. But if you're new to the area, maybe you just moved here from a different climate, get ready.
A different climate. That reminds me of our new reporter who is here saying, oh my gosh, I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah, Johnny told us, he comes to us from the Northeast, and he said, yeah, this is next level heat and humidity.
Yeah, I believe he said yesterday or the day before, he said that an 80-degree day at the beach for him is a hot day.
Oh my goodness, yeah, no.
Johnny, I feel for you, man. We're going to get through this together, though. We're going to take a look at your forecast, meet our dog of the day. Everyone's getting through this. The animals getting through this as well. We have Aspen sent in by Teresa from Smyrna, and Aspen's looking up going, well, where's the rain? We need some rain. Aspen, you're not wrong. Most of us do need some rain. We're in a little bit of a drought we'll look at momentarily. Taking a look at our dog walk forecast this morning. We are starting off cooler than yesterday. It's deceiving, though. That deception comes because we're already sunny. We're going to get warmer quicker than we did yesterday, and that warm air gets us back up to right around the 80-degree mark between 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock this morning, and we'll get up to the 90s later on this afternoon. Low 90s today, and every day gets hotter until we get into the end of the weekend. We're up near 100 by then. How do you send in your photos? Meteorologist Greg Bobus on Facebook. You find that post, and that's how you share right along with us here. Now, as far as rainfall goes, we do need it. 92 today, 96 degrees tomorrow, 98 Saturday, 99 Sunday. No rain in the forecast any of those days. Aside from a pop-up sprinkle, which this time of the year can happen during the afternoon hours, I'm seeing no significant signs of rain until at least Monday of next week.
Greg, thanks. Steer clear traffic time. It is 6:19 right now. This is a big issue on I-24 at Bell Road this morning, impacting your commute into Nashville. I know it's just a one-car crash, but listen, any little thing on I-24 will very quickly complicate your commute. Yes, this is inbound to Nashville. Yes, it is causing a backup. Best detour here would be you could take Mountain View Row. If you are in Antioch. Now, if you're really wanting to take the major detour, take Murfreesboro Pike. All right, if you are down in Smyrna, Laverne, even Murfreesboro, the backup here already starting to stack up significantly, I would say, for a couple of miles. So Murfreesboro Pike would be your best big detour. Stick around. We'll get more updates and steer clear traffic in just a few minutes.
Right now, though, we're talking about politics with President Biden's status at the top of the Democratic ticket in question now. We have lawmakers who are remaining divided over who should lead Democrats into November. Listen.
That debate was painful to watch, but also not the person that I had been spending time with at the White House picnic two weeks before. But they need to prove that this was just a temporarily pulled muscle and not something that needs to take him out of the relay.
I think he has good days and bad days as far as grasping the issues, but I don't think we want a president with good days and bad days. You always want a president who's up for a 10 or 12 hour workday.
Well, Biden insists he is staying in the race, rallying support from union leaders just yesterday, but also taking some hits from a lukewarm endorsement from former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Also, celebrity backer George Clooney also calling for Biden to drop out. The campaign planning to now send senior advisors to Capitol Hill this week to meet with senators to really shore up support.
A professional athlete found guilty of betting on his own games. We'll take a closer look at that story.
And a hearing on how to stop deadly disasters like the Baltimore Bridge collapse from happening again.
We have a live look right now from downtown Nashville. Warm start to the day. We've got the sun up, shining off the buildings right there. Get ready for the heat now. In fact, days from now, we have a code red weather alert because of it. Code Red meteorologist Greg Bobus detailing all the heat and the chance for any storms in the forecast in minutes.
Nearly 22 million children living in America rely on schools for their meals. Fox 17 News and our parent company, Sinclair Broadcasting, are partners.
Just about 6:24, and right now in national news, we're talking about disgraced former NBA player Jontay Porter, who is now pleading guilty to conspiracy to commit wire fraud.
All right, the gambling scandal is what got him banned from the league earlier this year. All right, 4 other people facing charges in connection. Prosecutors say Porter would provide tips on his own games, and gamblers in the scheme would place winning bets based on his performance. What a mess. Porter set to be sentenced in December. He faces several years in prison.
Meanwhile, at a Senate hearing regarding the collapse of Baltimore's Francis Scott Key Bridge in March, officials say they're now trying to figure out how to prevent another crash from happening in the future. And experts say this all starts with pier protections. The Key Bridge's pier protection system was built back in 1977 when cargo ships were, yes, much smaller. Well, crews with the Army Corps of Engineers say the bridge did not stand a chance when the massive ship rammed right into it.
The concrete dolphins that were out there protecting Pier 17 and 18 and the fendering were clearly not sufficient for vessels of that size.
Experts tell us and tell senators there could be thousands of bridges across the country, imagine that also have not updated their pier protections. However, engineers say that crash is and was extremely rare. Code Red weather update. Greg stepped out, so we are stepping in, sharing a pool forecast for you. Yesterday's low humidity is a thing of the past. We are ramping up the heat as we head into this weekend. But for today, take a look. 83 degrees by 10 a.m. So it's going to be a hot day. You know it. 5 p.m. reaching 92 degrees. If you're heading out there for your walk, for a run, maybe you're getting ready for sports. All the students out there, just go ahead and take some water with you. Another hot day on tap.
And be prepared before you head out the door and steer clear traffic. Hey, that's why we're here for you. We always want to make sure that you avoid any problems on the road, and this is one of them. I-24 at Bell Road in Antioch, inbound to Nashville. So we're talking to you this morning. If you live in Antioch, Smyrna, Laverne, Murfreesboro, this is the stack up as a result of this crash. Now, it's just one car. It's off to the right shoulder, and we do have what looks to be perhaps a police officer on scene, but still causing a big backup. And here you go. It's a couple miles long coming into Nashville. Take Murfreesboro Pike as your best detour. Also, in our next Steer Clear traffic report, I'm going to take you back north of Nashville to Briley Parkway at I-24 near Jolton to get you updated on what looked to be a shipping container dropped smack dab in the middle of an exit ramp. Efforts right now to get that cleared in minutes.
Coming up, a teenager charged in the murder of Trinity Bostic is going to be in the courtroom today. What her friends...
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Good morning. Just about 6:30 right now on Fox 17 News This Morning. The young lady you see here on your screen, that's Trinity Bostic, 17 years old. Her body found in the woods in Hendersonville. Happening today. The person who stands charged in her death will make a first court appearance. We'll tell you what Trinity's family has to say about the process and what we are expecting to unfold today.
And we also know that temperatures are cranking up to the upper 90s for Friday throughout the weekend. We're already tracking code red weather alerts for the heat for next week. We're going to keep you in the know with a full forecast.
Steer clear traffic has been a bit of an issue this morning on two sides of town, both south and north of Nashville. A lot of sun glare in this shot, but this is where we're monitoring efforts to move some kind of container, storage or shipping container that's stuck in the middle of an exit ramp. We'll get you updated here in just a couple of minutes.
Just a mess there. We do want to start by saying thank you for joining us here on a Thursday morning. For Fox 17 News, I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. Let's get right to our top story this half hour. New this morning, a missing teenager in Clarksville has police on the lookout. They're telling us that Brenna Howard was last seen July 4th around 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right now, we're sharing a photo on your screen. They're asking that anyone who might know where she is to go ahead and call the Clarksville Police Department. We're also sharing a number right here at the bottom of your screen with this information. If you want to take a closer look at the photo or get more of those details, head on over to fox17.com.
Making headlines right now and happening today, the teenager who is charged in the death of a 17-year-old girl named Trinity Bostic will have his first detention hearing.
Our very own Fox 17 News reporter Johnny Maffey speaking with the family.
I spoke with Trinity Bostic's father on the phone yesterday. It was brief. He didn't want to say anything due to the ongoing investigation, but I also caught up with one of her friends who said the funeral early this week was a beautiful ceremony and there was a lot of purple in the crowd. That was their way of honoring their friend and loved one. Now here at the Sumner County Courthouse, the first detention hearing is scheduled for 1 o'clock this afternoon for the 17-year-old male charged with first-degree murder, and a friend did tell us the unidentified teen and Bostic knew each other. Now, when Bostic went missing back on June 29th, her half-sister Tasha Calcote was upset by the lack of social media posts from law enforcement. Macon County Sheriff said it was because they knew she was not in Macon County, but missing persons advocates say that's what social media is for, spreading info beyond the area. Now again, today's detention hearing is for the judge to decide whether that unidentified teen charged with first-degree murder remains in custody or not. Now, I did talk to the Sumner County District Attorney General Ray Whitley. He says the next step is the transfer hearing, and that's when he's going to file a petition to try the teen as an adult.
Johnny, thank you for that report. At 6:32 right now, Operation Crime and Justice. Smyrna police are looking for whoever set fire to a car the night of July 4th. Now, we've got some surveillance video we're going to show you here. Watch along with us. This is from the Gold's Gym parking lot that shows somebody smashing the driver's side window. You got to look toward the top right of your screen. All right, look right, center, and then up just a little bit. You can see they smash a window and then they light what looks to be a firework. The resulting fire in that car destroyed it. So if you have any information whatsoever, again, this is the Gold's parking lot in Smyrna, please call police.
6:53, taking a look at your forecast here. We are going to talk about heat, humidity, and a lack of rainfall here for a good portion of the next 7 days. Tons of sunshine is already up. Get that sweet sunshine all day long, and maybe a cloud or two on and off, but the sun really is going to win the forecast. No escaping the heat. I don't care where you are. Right now, some areas are comfortable and are on the cooler side. Right side of your screen, we've had some 50s and 60s this morning, and most of us starting to get closer to the 70-degree mark. But the afternoons, starting today, are back in the 90s. 92 degrees today, 96 tomorrow, and up near 100 starting this weekend. Code red for heat on Monday and Tuesday of next week. So it's going to be a very long stretch of some hotter temperatures. Taking a look, here's our Cookeville camera here in Putnam County, and yeah, sunshine. Beautiful start here to the day. And this is one of the cooler spots. You guys have been in like the 60s and 50s so far this morning. Taking a look compared to yesterday morning, you can see the minus sign in front of our temperatures here, meaning most of us are cooler than we were at the exact same hour yesterday morning. That's the one thing in the forecast we have going for us, is this nice cool start. The afternoon, humidity builds, temperatures climb, and then we don't turn back after that. No mornings will feel like that for the rest of the next 7 days. You can see downtown Nashville looking good, clocking in right near the 70-degree mark. We're going to look ahead to that 7-day forecast, that increasing heat and humidity, and how hot we're going to feel on our next Code Red days for Monday and Tuesday in the next look at your forecast.
Greg, thank you. We'll have another update for steer clear traffic right now. The good news is the incident, I-24 at Bell Road, that situation has cleared. Now, what you're looking at right here, this is I-24, Briley Parkway, north of Nashville. This is where what looks to be a shipping container has flipped over. The sun glare is so bad, though, that it truly makes it difficult to really make out what's happening here. There are multiple TDOT crews on the scene, once again trying to get that container out of the way to clear up this exit. You're not seeing too much of a backup right here for this live look. We're going to continue checking in, and hopefully they can get that container out of there as quickly as possible.
And the best detours, quick reminder here, if you're on Briley and you're trying to get to I-24 for any reason this morning, take Whites Creek Pike or take Clarksville Highway to get up north, then you can jump over as a good detour, because still you cannot get off that exit ramp right there.
In Operation Crime and Justice, another arrest at a WeGo property. We continue to follow up on stories. This one, though, involves a man facing several charges after police say he tried to rob a bus rider in a wheelchair at the downtown station.
Officers say James Claybrooks tried to steal money right out of the guy's hands, selling him a gift card. Claybrooks is being held this morning on a $31,000 bond.
Coming up, one U.S. representative wants to impeach 2 Supreme Court justices. Why she says this is necessary.
And astronauts speaking out about their time.
Right now, there is one congresswoman who wants Congress to go ahead and impeach Supreme Court Justices Samuel Alito and Clarence Thomas. We're talking about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who announced articles of impeachment against the 2 justices yesterday. She is accusing Thomas and Alito of refusing to recuse themselves from cases where they have allegedly having conflicts of interest. That's her concern. The move, though, is not likely to get anywhere in the Republican-controlled House.
We have 2 astronauts who made it to the International Space Station on board Boeing's Starliner capsule, and they say they're confident that spacecraft can bring them back home safely. NASA test pilots Butch Wilmore, who is from right here in the mid-state, and Sonny Williams, both making it to the ISS last month on that Boeing capsule. In their first news conference from orbit, the test pilots say they expect they'll be able to come home once the thruster testing is complete on Earth. Butch Wilmore says it's just part of the job.
You know, that mantra you've heard, failure is not an option. That's why we are staying here now. We did have some degradation in our thrusters, and we know that. And that's why we're staying, because we're going to test it. That's what we do.
Man, you got to love space. Sonny's hair. That was something, wasn't it? Hey, their flight launched June 5th, originally scheduled to be there for just 8 days. We're monitoring the developments every day. We'll let you know just as soon as they get clearance to try to make it back home.
And here we are diving back into our forecast, and the less rain we get, the more of a drought we're going to build over the next 7 days. This is a look at the drought monitor that came out last Thursday. We get an update to this around 8 o'clock this morning. So when we go live and local for you here in 20 minutes, you're going to get your update to how good or bad things are looking here coming up in about an hour and a half. But just know that if you're south of I-40, we need rain. We've seen far less than we're supposed to. 100% of the rain here on this map would say that we've gotten every drop we're supposed to have during a 30-day period. 100%, perfect. We've got some areas that have only seen 15, 20% of the rain they were supposed to, and we have 7 more days worth of a likely dry forecast for most of us. Southern Kentucky's the only place not hurting right now. Everyone else needs a little bit of rain. So when it comes to gardening, your lawns, you're watering yourself, or you're not going to have any extra help here from Mother Nature. Temperature out in the garden this morning at 78 degrees, 87 degrees at noon, and 91 degrees at 3 p.m. When to water is a good question. Not every hour of the day is great, even if it's sunny outside. You don't want to do it during the peak strength of the sun rays that are out there. I would say from 9 o'clock on all the way through about 5 p.m., 6 p.m. even, not all that great. My curious question here this morning, the blob of toothpaste on a toothbrush has a name. This is true. What is it? Is it a nurdle, a globule, a dollop, or a dab? Answer coming your way in 5 minutes.
How funny. And here I thought a nurdle with someone else.
Gosh.
Okay, 641. Steer clear traffic right now. Want to give you the all clear north of Nashville on I-65. If you are coming in this morning from Portland, White House, even Southern Kentucky, your morning commute coming down I-65 looks great right now. You have no problems. The only slowdowns that we're tracking in steer clear traffic continue to be this one at Briley Parkway and I-24. We still have the exit ramp shut down, so you cannot get on I-24 from Briley Parkway north of town to go up toward Jolton, Springfield, or Clarksville. We have some kind of cube, whether it's a shipping container or something else, we're not 100% sure, still blocking that exit ramp. So you're going to have to take the detours of 431 or 41 to get around this. And the crash on I-24 at Bell Road has cleared. Backup remains. If you need a detour coming in this morning from Antioch, Smyrna, Laverne, you can take Murfreesboro Pike.
Coming up here on Fox 17 News, a Thursday morning, taxi cab companies and Metro enforcement.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. 6:44 is the time right now. Operation Crime and Justice, Fox 17 News, working to get more information from city leaders after taxi cab issues have been brought to the forefront. Companies pointing fingers at transportation leaders for not regulating drivers, and everyday people like us who take cabs around town frustrated over what appears to be overcharging that is unregulated.
Big issue here. Fox 17 News' Madeline Nolan joining us live from Broadway. Madeline, you have some more details about a meeting that is happening tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. After our continuous coverage, Councilman Jacob Cupin, along with these taxi companies, plan to meet with the TLC, which is the Transportation Licensing Commission, and Metro Police, hopefully that they can crack down on these drivers overcharging. Now, according to both Yellow Cab and Nashville Checker Cab, managers there say that overcharging by drivers is getting out of control. They tell us this is because the drivers don't start the meters and are getting away with it, pointing to the lack of accountability from the TLC. Now, this after Fox 17 continues to hear horror stories about Nashville taxi cab experiences.
It's kind of scary that the only option are people who seem like they want to hurt you or kidnap you or something.
These drivers are blatantly overcharging tourists and conventioners 5 and 6 times the rate. It's giving our city a bad name. I get probably 30 or 40 calls a week.
Now, Fox 17 News has requested multiple interviews with the TLC, but they keep declining, instead offering statements saying that these reports are looked at on a case-by-case basis. But we really want to know what they're doing to regulate these drivers. Now, on top of the meeting tomorrow, Councilwoman Emily Benedict took to social media saying that she also plans to meet with the TLC, talking about these issues, and that will happen at their next meeting on next Thursday. For now, live here on Broadway, Madeline Nolan, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Madeline, thank you so much for that update. In your community, Williamson County Fire Rescue posting about a small way they saved the day for this dog. Okay, they say that the dog Lily was stuck under a shed. This was yesterday. Firefighters using airbags to lift the shed and free Lily back to her family. And thankfully, Jen and Greg, Lily was not hurt.
She's a tiny little thing. Looks kind of like a dachshund. Sweet baby.
Oh, they should make a movie out of that called Free Willy.
Free Lily. There you go.
Has that been done before? No.
That was cute, Greg.
I know. Great story, though. Okay, so here's my curious question. I hit you guys with these things. Sometimes they're really serious, you know, really good facts to keep in the back of the brain. Sometimes they're things you would have never knew even existed. So today's is the blob of toothpaste on a toothbrush has a name. They use this in advertisements, that little swishy thing you see when they zoom in.
Yeah.
What is it called? Is it called a nurdle, a globule, a dollop, or a dab?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I would not say a dollop because that's sour cream in my mind.
A dollop of daisy?
Dollop of daisy.
Okay, fair enough,
I'm
fair
going to
enough.
go with the dab.
I'm going to go with the dab.
I'm going to guess B, globule, but that's just because it's kind of gooey looking,
Yeah,
and so
like a
that would
glob of
just
toothpaste.
be my guess.
It's a nurdle.
A nurdle?
A nurdle.
And back in 2010, Colgate and Aquafresh sued each other over who's allowed to actually show that little design on advertisements.
What?
So they went to court over nurdles. Yeah.
Not at all related to a noodle.
No, not at all. No, it's just a weird name they gave it.
nurdle. Or a hurdle.
It's stuck. Yeah, the toothpaste community
Nurdle.
calls it that. Take a look
Toothpaste
outside. Take a look here at your screen. We have plenty of sunshine this morning. Right side of your screen, we're in the 60s. Going to be in the 90s later on this afternoon. Muggy meter going up just a little bit from yesterday, and it'll be oppressive by the end of the weekend. We're talking heat that builds day by day. Today, 92 will be that afternoon high temperature. Good morning, though, for a bike ride. I would say all the way through 9, 10 o'clock. We'll keep things below the 80-degree mark, and then even right before sunset, a good time to get out, hop on the bike. Might be the best day you've got to do it here in the next 5 or 7. Taking a look here, wash or wait, I would say go for it. I mean, the longer you do, or I should say the earlier you do it, the longer it's going to last you here because of our lack of rain in the forecast. Here it is in the 7-day, 92 today, 96 degrees. Tomorrow, upper 90s, clock in on Saturday, and they don't clock out until at least Wednesday or Thursday of next week. Each of those days abrasively hot. Code red for heat and humidity on Monday and Tuesday.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
With these billowing clouds above Las Cruces, New Mexico, it looks like a storm was brewing. In the background, some clouds appear to drop rain just as this dust storm rolled through the foreground. And these eagles in this Alaskan city appear unfazed by the human taking this video. In the city of Unalaska, eagles are pretty much everywhere.
Want to see your weather photos and videos on TV? Click Chime In on this station's website to share.
Something new in steer clear traffic, so I want to bring your attention to Briley Parkway over near Opry Mills Mall. All right, this is technically Briley Parkway at McGavick Pike, right in the Pennington Bend. But what you want to know is it's not impacting traffic. Okay, so that's great news. I mean, there's very little traffic on Briley Parkway anyways. This would, though, be the police activity that TDOT is describing. We can't tell why there's police activity. Fire truck, police car, ambulance, but we're having a hard time seeing what exactly is going on here or why they might be responding. If you were leaving Nashville International Airport and going north up toward I-65, or if you were leaving Opry Mills going north on Briley Parkway up toward I-65, this would be something that you would come upon. But again, no major backups as a result. Thankfully, traffic is very light in this area.
There have only been 8 total captains in the history of the Nashville Predators, and that number does include number 22, Greg Johnson. Johnson, though, died by suicide back in 2019, and yesterday his family came forward announcing that he was diagnosed with CTE.
Now, CTE can't be diagnosed until after death. It is a progressive brain disease that primarily impacts people who have had multiple concussions or repeated head injuries. After Johnson committed suicide in 2019, yes, his brain was analyzed. They did that at Boston University's CTE Center, which diagnosed him with the disease. He spent 12 seasons in the NHL playing for the Red Wings, the Penguins, the Blackhawks, and the Preds. During his 7-year career here in Nashville, he scored 93 goals in 502 games, the second captain in team history. Preds analyst Robbie Stanley remembering him.
He was an extremely popular player amongst his teammates, and you're talking about a guy that kind of embodied what the early Predators were. I mean, he was a guy that was scrappy. He wasn't the most talented guy on the ice, but he worked really, really hard. And those early Predators years, those early Predators teams, I think were kind of embodied by guys like that.
Johnson's family has said that concussions during his playing years were a factor in his decision to go ahead and retire. This morning, if you or anyone you know is struggling with suspected CTE symptoms, you can always find more information on a helpline by going to our website. It's fox17.com.
As we approach the 7 o'clock hour, there's a new way of having your say in a concert. Man, talk about times that are a-changin'. We'll tell you about the event this fall, where fans can vote on the songs and the set list.
6:55 is the time, and right now Fox 17 News showing you a live look over Metro Center this Thursday morning. Now listen up, high temperatures are going to be at or near 100 degrees tomorrow through Wednesday of next week, which is why our Code Red meteorologist, he is keeping you in the know. I think it's just a good idea to have your water bottle handy. I mean, that's just the name of the game.
For sure. Maybe throw a few electrolytes in it while you're at it.
Yeah.
Hey, looking ahead, a different take on concerts coming to Nashville this fall. I mean, just when you thought
we had it all.
We'd seen everything. Here we go. Tickets go on sale today for this interactive concert. They're calling it the Red Bull Jukebox for obvious reasons. They've got a sponsorship here. It's happening at Ascend Amphitheater October 2nd. We have Brothers Osborne, who you see here on your screen, Shabuzi, the guy that did his kind of country take on the song Tipsy, plus Priscilla Block, who you see right here, and many other artists who will perform. Here's what's different. You, the fan, can help choose the set list by casting a vote for songs online. If you want to do that, head to our website, fox17.com. We have a link for you there to do it now.
We just talked about water and electrolytes, but what about slushies? 7-Eleven's popular drink is free today to celebrate National Slurpee Day. The convenience store chain celebrates the 97th birthday. Can you believe that?
Wow.
Free Slurpees for 97 years. Listen, reward members can enter to win free Slurpees for an entire year if you head on over there today and participate.
That's a classic. All right, do you have a favorite Slurpee flavor?
Mountain Dew flavor.
Mountain Dew.
I had it too many times while I was pregnant. It was my craving.
Okay, Greg, what about you? Do you have a favorite flavor?
You know, I was going to say Mountain Dew, but Erica stole it from me. Any of the ones that bring a soda into it, I like them.
Okay, you know what I like to do?
What's that?
Mix.
Ooh, okay.
I like to mix the Coke and the cherry.
There you go, cherry Coke.
I remember when it was any size
container
cup that you bring in there.
Oh yeah.
You could do it.
5-gallon bucket.
Not the case anymore.
not even close. Bonfire. Maybe you want to get out there tonight, have a little Slurpee, maybe get a couple of s'mores going. 90 degrees will be our temperature at 6. So I would wait until a little bit closer to sunset. Then you're okay. 86 degrees at 8. And then we get our way all the way down to 79 degrees by 10 o'clock. Very good looking forecast for this morning, especially. We're starting off with temperatures that are in the 60s. Afternoon peak heating will be in the low 90s. Keep that in mind. But when we go into our 7 o'clock half hour, the weather department's very much so like 7-Eleven. We're not always necessarily doing business, but we're always open.
Oh, Greg, I like it. Okay, 6:58 right now is the time. Steer clear traffic. We have had several things popping up, kind of coming and going throughout the course of the morning, and here's another one. Just detected here in our steer clear traffic system, I-65 at Rosa Parks. We've got a box truck that's off to the right shoulder, not causing a major tie-up. Good news. And you can see TDOT is here with the flashing arrow, just telling you to merge over to the left to give them room. Can't tell why they're here. They might just have a flat or be broke down. So we've got that going on. Plus, we still have this, Briley Parkway at McGavick. Coming in as police activity, we can see the fire truck left, but the ambulance and the police car still here. We're still trying to figure out exactly why, because we don't see a car anywhere. Moments ago, we did see police looking over the guardrail. Again, not a high impact to traffic here. Great news along Briley Parkway this morning. We'll check in again on Steer Clear Traffic just a few minutes and let you know of anything else that pops up.
Well, right now, we're going to Germany, kind of. Meet Germany's 2-year-old mini Picasso, Laurent, who is already making a name for himself in the art world. Get this, selling his paintings internationally for a whopping $7,500.
Let's see it.
I'm in the wrong career field. All right, here we go. His mom Lisa says it all started a year ago on vacation. Laurent began painting in the kids club at the hotel and has not stopped ever since.
His very first painting was then sold to the Bahamas. In the course of that, I think the following week, one went straight to Birmingham. That was kind of like, oh my God.
Okay, so that was the translation there. Question, would you pay $7,500 for that? No?
No, I mean, great for the kid and for the parents for, I don't want to say exploiting, but for taking advantage of an opportunity with them.
He's saving the money up for college down the road. That's what the parents say. You're looking at me like,
he doesn't even know what college is right now. He's 2.
He was on vacation. Wow. Some kids go to the pool, other kids learn how to make art.
Listen, I'm about to go home and get a paint bucket.
Whip it up, girl.
And some canvas. See how much I can sell it for.
Stay with us. Our 7 o'clock hour starts right now.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Now on Fox 17 News this Thursday morning, a mid-state alderman and his wife arrested. The charges they're facing out in Franklin County in a minute.
Police tell Fox 17 News they have found the remains of a missing man in Springfield. Why police say it's part of a larger investigation into the death of another Springfield man earlier this summer.
And Davidson County Clerk's office are all closed indefinitely. We're working on figuring out why and when they plan to open back up. Coming up.
Thursday morning, thank you so much for waking up with Fox 17 News. I'm Erica Glover.
I'm Jennifer Waddell. We are your live local news source from 7 until 9 a.m. when the other stations go to their network programming that's national and pre-recorded, but we stay live and local for you. And we start this hour new right now out of Antioch, where one person has been shot and then took themselves to a fire station just off Murfreesboro Pike to get help.
Yeah, police have told us not exactly where the initial shooting happened. We're working to get some more information. As soon as that information does become available, we'll be sure to update this story.
All Davidson County Clerk's offices will be shut down until further notice because of a server issue, according to the city of Nashville.
Fox 17 News' Madeline Nolan is joining us live, trying to explain more about what exactly is going on. Good morning, Madeline.
Good morning. Right now, it's not clear on when or what happened here, but we're still working to see when they're going to be back open. But for those of you guys who do not know what these clerk offices provide, well, they provide a lot of important documents along with car tags, business licenses, and marriage license. According to Metro Nashville, the provider was working to correct this issue since before 11 a.m. yesterday. As of right now, we're unsure on if they are still open. We're going to go up there and see if we can talk to someone soon, but they did say that they do plan to be open this morning. However, it's unsure. They haven't updated us via social media just yet. For now, live here in Nashville, Madeline Nolan, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
I'll look at your forecast here just past the 7 o'clock hour, and the sun is up, and we're going to get the heat pretty quickly with it. Temperatures for right now are still pretty good on the right side of your screen, in the 60s and right near 70 degrees in the Nashville area. 90s this afternoon. We're back to hot times for the rest of the next 7 days. Here's where things get a little more interesting. We add the heat and humidity together, and they continue to build throughout the weekend. By the time Monday and Tuesday get here, heat index values of 105 to 110 degrees. Dangerous heat will have us in code red. Right now, we're not in code red. Arrows are down in the all clear. We're going to have high temperatures that are a little bit warmer than yesterday. We'll aim for 92. We've gained 4 degrees in Nashville in the last hour and a half since the sun came up. That's what it's going to do for us today. It's a very quick warm up. But we are loaded up with sunshine. We'll give you your 7-day forecast right now. Then we'll start breaking down chunks of today and leading into the upcoming weekend to put all the pieces to the puzzle together. 92 degrees today, 96 tomorrow. Upper 90s do return in time for the weekend, and they're going to hang with us for a long weekend going into Monday, Tuesday, and potentially even as late as Wednesday of next week.
All right, it's hanging out with us, Greg. Thank you so much. 7:03 is the time, and we do want to check back in and give you another steer clear traffic update out of Salem town. Here it is, I-65 over at Rosa Parks Ave. You can see over on the right shoulder the area where they have the arrow there pointing and directing drivers. So this is something we're monitoring out for. We do understand that there is one vehicle pulled over there on the right shoulder. It's not slowing down traffic too much, but certainly something you want to be mindful of. We'll continue sharing all of your steer clear traffic updates, though, and take you back out here to Salem town in just a couple of minutes.
Operation Crime and Justice. We have police investigating after human remains are found in Springfield. Taking a look right now at video from Smoky Barn News and a picture as well. Police believe they have found the body of a missing person, Apolinar Sadierna Garcia, also known as Polo. He was reported missing back on June 12th. Smoky Barn News reports that Polo lived at the same home as Carlos Camaha, the man who was found dead by railroad tracks near the Robertson-Montgomery County line on June 11th. A mother and son, Celia Ramirez Hernandez and Cruz Hernandez, both arrested in Mr. Camaha's death, who again lived at the same address as Polo, who police believe is the body they just found yesterday. So several different developments here, somewhat complicated story, but investigators working to piece it all together as we speak this morning. We are working to get updates from Springfield Police and Robertson County Sheriff's Department. Just as soon as we get them, we'll bring that to you here live through 9.
Also happening this Thursday, the restaurant Smokin' Thighs over in Wedgwood, Houston. They're going to be holding a candlelight vigil for the owner who died, Matthew Carney. That was his name. This particular event is going to be happening at 7:30 p.m. again at this restaurant. Carney was hit by a speeding truck in the parking lot of his restaurant, Smokin' Thighs, back on June 19th and died on July 4th. The truck that hit Carney has been found, but the driver is still on the run.
Developing this morning, a small town alderman, also known as a city council member, now facing charges of money laundering and selling drugs. This story takes us to Deckard, Tennessee, small town out near Chattanooga, where Alderman Justin Stubblefield, along with his wife Paige, they've both been charged with conspiracy to distribute oxycodone.
This comes after police investigated 2 overdose deaths. Police believe the 2 victims purchased the drugs from the couple. We have now reached out to the city of Deckard for comment, but this Thursday morning we are still waiting for their response.
After the break, football fans, concert goers, this one's for you. We're live at Nissan Stadium, bringing you the latest on construction updates. It looks a little different over here if you haven't been here in a while.
Nearly 22 million children living in America rely on schools for their meals. Fox 17 News and our parent company, Sinclair Broadcasting, are partnering with.
Welcome back. This Thursday morning, we are talking about sports. It's hard to believe that NFL training camp is right around the corner, and week 1 is just 9 Sundays away.
A lot of excitement building up for Nashville. Fox 17 News reporter Johnny Maffey joining us live outside Nissan Stadium, where things are looking a lot different this year as it pertains to the construction on the brand new stadium. Get us up to speed, and good morning.
Yeah, good morning, guys. So if you've been to a concert here, you've obviously seen some of these updates, but if you haven't been here since the winter, well, it's looking a lot different. And Nissan Stadium and Titans officials, well, they're giving us some updates here, so you can see the dirt piles, right? They're huge. They're a few, I'd have to spend a lot of time climbing up there. But if we zoom towards the construction site, well, it obviously isn't feeling like football weather from at least where I'm from up north, but these construction workers are working hard in the heat, and you can see some of those beams emerging. That's one of the recent updates in that big pit over there where this huge new stadium is going to go. A few other things we're learning: by the end of this month, the first slab of concrete is going to be poured. They're hoping to do that by the end of July, and that's really one of the big first steps in addition to those beams you're seeing now. Another thing is, well, with the beams comes the skeleton at some point later on in that structure, that true structure. We're expected to start to see by the end of the year, by 2025 is when things will start to take shape. We'll really see how big this is, especially in comparison to the stadium that's currently standing. Now, throughout the morning, we're going to be talking about some other new construction updates. When this is all expected to end, again, by that 2027 NFL season is when the new Nissan Stadium is set to get ready. But we'll check back in about a half hour or so and bring you some more here from Nissan Stadium. For now, I'm Johnny Maffey, live in Nashville. Guys, back over to you.
All right, Johnny, thank you. Yeah, one of the big question marks around all this is where are people going to park for all the football seasons between now and 2027? That's an answer we'll work to get for you.
Right now, Metro Police, we want to let you know, are still searching for a suspect regarding a shooting of a woman outside of a nightclub. This was back in September. Police this morning, though, are searching for the woman right here on your screen. They let us know that the suspect got into some kind of argument in the parking lot outside of the Zion Lounge over on Murfreesboro Pike, and that's when police say a fight broke out.
Right, so I know you're seeing a man and a woman here on your screen, but it's the woman that police are looking for right now in connection to the shooting of another woman. We understand that she pulled out a gun, according to police, and shot that woman in the leg. All right, so as this story continues to get updated, and if you have any information, you can call Crime Stoppers. We've got that number right there at the bottom of your screen at 742-7463.
Coming up next in your forecast, well, right now on your screen, current temps not that bad. This is the last decent morning we have. Heat starts to crank up this afternoon and gets even worse towards your weekend. We're going to break it down day by day.
And steer clear traffic, we have another fender bender that just popped up. This is I-40 at Briley Parkway, right near Nashville International Airport. Now, the good news is not causing a big problem in traffic, all right? Volume's pretty light right now. Everybody seems to be getting over just fine. We'll check in again in just... Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. Time right now 7:14. An important update as Fox 17 News is hearing from the second in command at the Davidson County Criminal Court Clerk's Office after Mississippi police say a man released on a lowered bond here in Nashville went on to kill his ex-girlfriend.
And we do understand Juliet Sloss is the chief deputy at the Criminal Court Clerk's Office. He is now admitting fault and taking the blame for an oversight that allowed Bryson Rivers, this man, to leave Davidson County last month. Mississippi police say days after his release, he killed his ex-girlfriend, Lauren Johansson. Sloss now says someone at the criminal clerk's office overlooked the information sent by the bond company because the sheriff's office never received the bond conditions and Rivers was ultimately released. That ankle monitor did not properly track Rivers, and he got away.
Has put a pall over our office, and I can tell you the supervisor of that office and the person who made the mistake himself are feeling real down right now.
Well, Sloss says the criminal court clerk's office is now recoding the system so a person cannot be released without making sure all conditions are approved. And he tells us there will be disciplinary action toward the deputy clerk responsible for that mistake. Fox 17 News will stay on this story as we work to get more answers in the issue itself of low or no bond here in Middle Tennessee.
Also new this morning, churches, synagogues, mosques, and other places of worship, they have until Friday, tomorrow, just before midnight, to apply for the Houses of Worship security grant application.
All right, what does that mean? Fox 17 News reporter Peyton Hughes joining us in studio to explain.
Now, this application gives a maximum of $100,000 for nonprofit places of worship to hire contracted security guards. Pastor Howard Jones with Fairfield Missionary Baptist Church, serving his congregation for the past 35 years, says just last week his church held a funeral for a teen who was murdered. His church needed security to make sure there were no conflicts, no domestic situations, and although the church is a sacred place of worship where people are protected, especially from above, it's also a place where security measures are necessary given the society we live in today.
During some homegoing celebrations, funerals, we have had incidents where we were in need of safety and security. And, you know, it's a soft target, and we refuse to be a soft target.
Pastor Jones says he remembers the Antioch church shooting in 2017.
And the Sunday that took place, and I prayed with them and went to the hospital and visited, and it was heartbreaking.
For more information and links to apply, head over to our website at fox17.com. Again, the deadline is just before midnight on Friday. In studio, Peyton Muse, Fox 17 News, your code red station.
Peyton, thank you. It is now 7:18 on the dot. We're checking in with our code red meteorologist who says get your sunblock, get your water, get your hats, get your fans. Did I miss anything?
No, I actually don't think so. Get your ice bath, get the hose, get whatever you can. No, that list right there is a really good one to begin with. Yeah, we're going to start the process today. It's not going to be a bad day, but you'll notice it'll be warmer than yesterday. And then we're also going to have that heat really build into the upcoming weekend itself. So moving parts, let's get them all pieced together here for you. Taking a look, first of all, I want to show this camera view of a lower Broadway because we've been talking about sun glare and had so many issues with the roadways. Look at the sun just beaming down and bouncing right back off of some of the surfaces here. on the camera, kind of right back at it. That's what a lot of drivers are seeing out there this morning. Please keep that in mind as you're hitting the road. That's the only weather influence we have, but it can be a bad one. If you're blinded for just a few seconds, that goes a long way for some very bad times if you're on the roadway. 73 degrees right now. We are mainly sunny. I checked in on the airport here. We're going to show you the airport forecast because a decent number of delays we've got this morning, not because of our weather back home. 78 degrees at 9 o'clock at BNA, 87 at noon, and 91 degrees at 3 p.m. Temperature right now is climbing above the 70-degree mark in a few spots. That includes at the airport at 73. But we have 38 flight delays, only one cancellation, but the number of delays has jumped up significantly in just the last 2 hours. We'll keep our eyes on it and see if those cancellation numbers go up. Always keep an eye on your flight as well. Tea times this morning, afternoon, and evening looking pretty good. 78 degrees will be your temperature for any early morning rounds of golf. I'll tell you this, though, we're going to be above 90 all the way through about 6, 7 o'clock. So the afternoon tea times, maybe you want to get that game in a little earlier in the day if you can. And then maybe you want to fire up the barbecue later. Well, there we go. We'll have temperatures that'll be in the 90s. Now, this is one big thing we'll talk about in a few minutes. We are in a drought, and it's going to get worse before it gets better. We're going to look at these areas that are south of I-40 and how much rain we need to catch up. That's coming your way and your 7-day forecast in less than 10 minutes.
Greg, thank you so much. Just about, well, now it's 7:20, so we do want to check in for Antioch, show you what's happening in your Steer Clear traffic update. So you can see the right shoulder there, I-24 at Bradley Parkway. We have a TDOT crew member over there trying to direct traffic over to the left side. Right car is over there on the shoulder there in that area. So this is causing a bit of a brake check. That's the only incident happening right now in Antioch, but there is another crash spot.
Yeah, in fact, this one also involves Bradley Parkway, although it's not on Bradley. This is I-40. This is actually over near the airport. You know, Greg was just telling us about delays and whatnot over there. We do have a bit of a delay stacking up on the road as well. This is I-40 at Bradley Parkway. We understand this is in the westbound lanes, so this would be on I-40 coming into Nashville, just as you get past Bradley Parkway. Not major. In fact, we do see police that have just shown up here to the inside left shoulder, causing a brake check. Just move over if you're coming in this morning.
7:23 right now. We are showing you a beautiful live look from San Francisco. Wow. Look at the colors there in the sky. We are showing you just different parts of the country. We always like to check in and see what's happening. Maybe you're traveling here. Look at this. Not too shabby, right?
Very pretty sunrise. Lots of commuters out there too. Hey, speaking of commuting, we have a story here at home we want to update you on from yesterday morning during the very early morning commute that left one man dead and a Metro police officer seriously hurt. This was a head-on crash that happened yesterday morning. The driver who died now identified. Police say Metro Police Homicide Sergeant Trevor Von Dolan got hit head-on by the car going the wrong way on Bell Road near Mountain View Road.
The crash killed the other driver, 26-year-old Carlos Antiano of Antioch. Police say the sergeant was heading into an investigation and did not have sirens on or the lights at the time. It's a story we'll continue monitoring and be sure to share any updates on.
7:24, taking a look at what I was just talking about and the lack of rainfall we're going to have. Yes, heat and humidity will be our big story when it comes to how we feel and get through our day, but this is still something of concern we have to watch very carefully. Here's our drought monitor. Easily put, the tan color, we really need rain, and the areas in yellow, we're starting to really need rain. This is where we're at when it comes to percentage of rain we've had in the last 30 days. Fancy way of saying if the number's not 100 or above, it's not good. The lower the number, the less rain that we have seen. So think about getting 17% on a test back in high school or at school in general. That's not good. So you want these numbers to be as close to 100 as possible. We have the next 7 days, almost no rain in the forecast. So just keep that in mind. If you've got gardens, if you have plants outside, all of that we're taking care of ourselves here for the next week. We're watering early and very late in the day, not during the peak heat. Here we go though. Days 8 through 14 is a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. There are some signs that late next week into the following week we'll work into some rainfall. In the green areas here, it would be above average rainfall. Guaranteed? No, but it's better than sitting in the yellow shaded areas where we have for a better chunk of the last 30 days. So if you think your yards are getting crunchy, if you're mowing the lawn less frequently, you're not alone. It's across most of Middle Tennessee. The only spots that aren't seeing that drought right now are through portions of southern Kentucky. 92 dry degrees today, 96 tomorrow, upper 90s Saturday and Sunday. The next chance for any decent rainfall across the board, not going to be until the beginning of next week. Those 2 days are code red on Monday and Tuesday for heat and humidity, not for thunderstorms.
Steer clear traffic right now at 7:26. Been up a middle. This is one of those speed bumps. Not a massive problem or a huge delay, but we do have a SUV that's pulled off over on the shoulder here, I-24 at Briley Parkway. This is causing a little bit of a backup, but you can see it's not on the interstate itself. So just a heads up there, a bit of a slowdown. I-24 Briley Parkway in Antioch coming into Nashville. We have another live look. This looks like I-65 at Moore's Lane. Looking good this morning on your morning drive. We'll keep an eye on the rest of your morning commute with an...
See how God rescue, redeems, and restore. Not some things, but all things.
On the 700 Club, Friday at 9 a.m. This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Mid-10 Furniture. You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Good morning and welcome into Fox 17 News This Morning, just about 7:30. The woman you see here on your screen, a Fort Campbell soldier found dead in her home. And new this morning, we have learned how she died. What we know so far about the investigation into her death and her family's calls for justice.
We are waking up here entering another hot period of time that's really going to take over this weekend into next week. I've already got 2 code red days for heat and humidity on my 7-day. We'll find out what those are in just about 2 minutes.
And a Fox 17 News showing you a live look. I-65 Moore's Lane over in Brentwood. This spot looking good, but we're sharing more steer clear traffic updates. Thanks so much for waking up with us here on a Thursday morning for Fox 17 News. I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. We always have you covered as your live local news source through 9 a.m. We have an update this morning now to a story that we've been following online. New right now, a missing toddler has been found and is fighting for her life after being airlifted to Vanderbilt Children's Hospital. This story originating in Logan County, Kentucky, that's southern Kentucky, where the sheriff's office says that child walked away from a home in Russelville.
Yeah, she was found unconscious in a small body of water. That's according to investigators. Right now, Fox 17 News making calls and working to get some more updates about this ongoing investigation.
Also developing this morning, all Davidson County clerk's offices will be shut down until further notice because of a server issue. That's according to the city.
Going to cause some big headaches, though. Fox 17 News' Madeline Nolan joining us out there live, getting us some updates. When could this issue be resolved?
Well, good news, guys. We have an update and it has been resolved. I'm actually joined with the county clerk here in Davidson County, Brenda Wynn. Brenda, tell us, you just got the news. I know we just spoke.
I just got a text message that said we're up. We'll be able to serve everybody in the public who wants to come out and access our services today. Again, we understand that there may be glitches throughout the day, but our goal is to serve everybody who shows up here, and we're excited to know that they've gotten this issue resolved for now. We've got a 9:30 meeting this morning between our software provider and with IT, and IT has been on top of this all night too. So I just want to say thanks to anybody who's worked on this issue since yesterday.
Okay, so do you kind of understand a little bit about what the problem was?
A little. I'm not the techie person. I mean, I got a telephone.
No, totally understandable. So at first it was just marriage licenses, notaries, like that kind of thing, but now it's everything.
Everything will be up and running. We're able to verify the motor vehicle work. And what has to happen if you're titling and registering a motor vehicle, the VIN number has to match up to a national system. And so that was the struggle we were having. And so we're able to now verify VIN numbers off of our national system, which means we can do this work. Motor vehicle, marriage, notary, and business, everything today.
Okay, great news. I did want to add, Metro Nashville tweeted out that this was a statewide issue, but that's not the case.
It is not a statewide issue. It is just this issue locally here relating to Davidson County. Nothing statewide.
Okay.
Now, we were not able to verify off the state system, and I think that's where folks got the misunderstanding. In order to do the work that we do, we have to verify with our state system because of the VIN numbers and that kind of information. So that's what it was.
Well, great news. Thank you so much for giving us all this update.
Thank you for being here, and thank you for letting us let the public know we're here,
Appreciate it.
ready to go to work.
Of course, that's our job.
Right.
That's our job. Thank you. You have a good one. Bye-bye. You guys heard it here. All of these offices will be back up and running, open at 8 a.m. I'll have more updates coming up in the next half hour, but for now, now live here in Nashville. Madeline Nolan, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Madeline, thank you so much.
We got to hear first. We got to hear live. We got to hear local. Nobody else can do that for you all morning long in the mid-state. So, Madeline, thanks for your hard work.
You heard her there, Greg. Ready to get to work.
Ready to get to work, and if you're ready to go out there and you maybe wanted to get through that process and couldn't yesterday, weather's not going to slow you down. Get dressed, get ready to go, and get rolling, because we're going to talk about a day of no rain here for you. Just know that what you're going to wear to get out the door better be summer-like clothes the next couple of days, and grab the sunglasses every day here for the next 5 days. Back to the 90s. That's what's new here for us this morning. No rain through the weekend. Dangerous heat index next week. We're all clear for code red right now, but I do have Monday and Tuesday with red boxes on the 7-day, because those are 2 days where the heat and humidity combination will make it feel like we're above 105 to 110. That's where you get into the dangerous heat. Right now, nothing dangerous about this. Temperatures are starting off in the 60s and low 70s. As far as any weather impact to traffic, there's no weather concern, meaning nothing coming out of the sky, nothing in the sky in terms of fog. So no fog, no rain, but we are grabbing these sunglasses 100%. I've already seen a couple things popping up here when it comes to fender benders, accidents, and whatnot. A lot of that could be from sun glare. Up and out the door, again, once you got the sunglasses. Firing up the ride here this morning. 74 degrees at 8, 78 degrees at 9, 83 degrees at 10 o'clock. Here's your 7-day. Look at the heat. 96 degrees tomorrow, upper 90s Saturday through Wednesday of next week. We'll talk about those minimal storm chances here coming up in a few, guys.
All right, Greg, let's do another check of a steer clear traffic update here and show you once again that disabled vehicle over in Antioch. Well, it's still there. This is I-24 over at Briley Parkway. It's pulled over on the right shoulder, so it's not causing any kind of significant slowdowns. Just another thing that you want to be mindful of if you're heading out to that area, that yes, it's there. It's over in Antioch. We'll check back in a couple of minutes to see if that vehicle is out of there with your steer clear traffic update.
New this morning, a Fort Campbell soldier found dead in her home earlier this year died from nearly 70 stab wounds. That new information coming from her autopsy report. The medical examiner ruling the cause of death for 23-year-old Private First Class Katia Aguilar as homicide as a result of the stabbing. The Clarksville Leaf Chronicle doing some work on this story along with Fox 17 News. They report that her family and the League of United Latin American Citizens have offered a reward of $55,000 for any information that leads to an arrest and conviction in her death. During a news conference in May back in Texas where her family lives, they were begging for justice for her family and her 4-year-old little boy.
A teenager charged with killing another teenager is going to be in the courtroom today. We're going to share the newest information from the Sumner County District Attorney's Office.
And as your live local news source through 9 a.m., we've always got you covered in the weather and the traffic department. Plus, when we mention being your live local news source through 9, we bring you stories like the one we just had moments ago. Our Madeline Nolan. Hey there, good morning and welcome back into Fox 17 News this morning. Time right now, 7:39. We have continuing coverage of a story that really has started to come to the forefront for both locals and tourists in Nashville. It's the subject of taxis and rideshare operators. After Fox 17 News started reporting, we had a yellow cab manager and a Metro councilman who are now saying that Metro police, local leaders, and cab companies will be meeting tomorrow to talk about safety concerns regarding illegal drivers and in some cases, bogus cabs. They're calling for accountability from the Transportation Licensing Commission. And on top of the meeting tomorrow, that we will be at, by the way, Councilwoman Emily Benedict went to social media following our coverage of this topic, saying she will also be speaking to the Transportation Licensing Commission about the issue at their Metro Council meeting next Thursday. So, like I said, a story that is really starting to come to the forefront as a result of our reporting. We wanted to know your perspective on it. We've got a live poll on Twitter right now where we asked, does Nashville need more regulations and enforcement on taxis and ride shares? And about 70% of you say yes. We've had more than 200 votes already this morning. If you want to add your voice to this topic, scan the QR code right there on your screen. It'll take you right to our Fox Nashville Twitter account. We go to White House this morning, where neighbors there are increasingly growing frustrated and in many cases fed up over what they say is a lack of progress to protect their homes from flooding. Take a look at this and you'll see why. Look at these neighbors' backyards. Shauna Hurt lives right here. Her home surrounded by water back in May, and then it flooded again at the end of June. The home is on Tyson Lane with many others, and this area is not in a floodplain, so they want to know what's going on. Ms. Hurt believes over the years that more than $100,000 worth of damage to her home is a result of the city's drainage problems. So we reached out to the city of White House and asked how they plan to address the flooding, just like this. They tell us they're working with TEMA and the Stormwater Advisory Board to talk about what to do. We will be tracking every development in the story, working to get answers for these neighbors. Make sure you keep it here for those updates.
And closing in on 7:42, the forecast here for us, starting to see things warm up a little bit. Hour by hour, we get hotter and hotter, and nothing going to come down in the forms of rain. We had a little fog this morning, but no rain here for a couple of days. Our dog of the day, Aspen, looking up, probably going, oh man, there's a lot of sun out here today. I'm going to have sun. I'm going to have a good walk. I'm going to have a good walking day. Teresa from Smyrna, yes, we definitely will. Now, just know that the afternoon gets a little hotter than yesterday. Not terrible, but hotter. This morning, we're going to have the 70s all the way until 10 o'clock. Again, loaded up with sunshine, which is good. You can leave the umbrellas at home when we're doing the morning dog walk. Taking a look, how do you send your photos in? You'll very easily go to Facebook, find that pinned post at the top, and just you can submit. You can share some stories if you want to. Let us know where you're from, and maybe a little fun fact. And taking a look, maybe just it's an outback. Just open the door, let them run around, burn off some energy in the backyard. 78 degrees at 9 a.m. But then look at that, though. We are going to be in the 90s most of this afternoon. I believe from around 2 o'clock through 6 o'clock, we'll have temperatures at or above 90 in the Nashville area. The one place winning today is going to be the Cumberland Plateau, where you'll have highs in the low to middle 80s.
Greg, thanks. We have new information in steer clear traffic. We have an accident with injuries on I-840. Heads up to all of our friends watching and listening south of Nashville. If you are in Murfreesboro and you typically take I-840 to get over to, say, Thompson Station, this is a look at the backup. This is a 70-mile-an-hour zone, and I would say a several-mile backup where traffic is moving along at about 10 or 11 miles an hour right now. Again, an injury reported in this crash. We don't have an eye on the crash because we don't have a TDOT camera close to it. This is as close as we can get. So I would say a good backup for you. If you're in Murfreesboro and you've got to get over toward Thompson Station, you can take Highway 96 as a good detour.
Welcome back. 7:46 is the time, and happening today, the teenager charged with murdering 17-year-old Trinity Bostic is going to be having his first detention hearing. A close friend of the Bostic family also telling Fox 17 News that the unidentified teenager and Bostic somehow knew each other. Sumner County District Attorney, though, General Ray Whitley, says he is aiming to try the teenager as an adult. More updates to come.
This morning, a first look at the Department of Children's Services investigation into the death of Ariel Rose. The 23-month-old little girl died from fentanyl toxicity back in November of 2022.
And right now, Fox 17 News' investigative reporter Amanda Chin has the new details surrounding her death and the circumstances. Good morning, Amanda.
Good morning, guys. Well, yes, this is the 57-page report released by the Department of Children's Services. And while it confirms a lot of what we already know, there are some new facts and circumstances leading up to her tragic death that we are now learning. The report confirms Ariel's aunt had legal custody of Ariel stemming from a DCS investigation that began in March of 2022, which is around the same time Ariel had been seen at Brookmead Park's homeless encampment. DCS investigators revealed the aunt dropped Ariel off at High Road Place, a transitional housing unit, a day before she died. The report confirms caretakers had been watching Ariel when she died, but new information shows officers found drug residue, drugs out on the table, and needles in a drawer. The file also says the drugs had been within reach of Ariel.
I mean, the system definitely failed that little girl, and the aunt who had DCS had given custody to failed her. Her parents failed her. It's just a tragic, tragic situation.
Now, coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, I'll have my full story with more details about this DCS report, including more information about the drugs Ariel could have gotten a hold of and why some are calling on more accountability. Reporting live in the studio, I'm Amanda Chin, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
a check of your forecast. Look out the window. You got sunshine loading up our day. We've got 73 degrees over Lower Broadway. Most of us are still in the upper 60s right now, but that warming trend will really quickly happen going toward the afternoon. Yesterday couldn't have been much better. Today is not terrible, not even close, but today is the beginning of some heat. You'll notice the humidity a little bit more this afternoon as well. Let's get you to it. Muggy meter puts us back into the upper 60s for our dew points. By tomorrow, they'll be in the 70s. The humidity takes over, and once it does, we're stuck with it until Tuesday of next week. There's really no break until the next weather maker moves in. As far as upcoming precip chances, if there are no bars on the day, that means we're very close to a 0 chance for rain. Not a 100% chance for no rain. So there's a difference there. Taking a look here, we have high pressure overhead. I want you to focus on the arrow direction here. They're coming from the south, moving toward the Nashville area. Now, high pressure always does keep cloud cover away, but as it moves away for the afternoon, 1 or 2 fair weather clouds could build. And there could be enough moisture out there with the heating of the day where we get a pop-up little sprinkle. I don't buy it heavily, but it's possible. Don't bank on rain. Don't cancel plans for rain. If you get a raindrop, that's all it'll be. That's how today shakes out. I'm going to go wash my car as soon as the newscast is over. I would say do it the same. If you need to, I'd say go for it. It'll last you today all the way through Sunday, with the next decent chance for rain not coming until Monday into Tuesday. So the heat and the humidity really are the bigger story, with the drought and lack of rainfall taking the back seat for us here. I have to keep stressing whenever we show the 7-day forecast that Monday and Tuesday do say code red, but they're not code red for that thunderstorm chance. It's very small that we even see a storm. It is for heat index values that become dangerous above 105 degrees both of those afternoons into the evening.
Thank you, Greg. We do want to check in now for another steer clear traffic update and take you over to Almaville. This is I-840 Veterans Parkway. We are trying to get some more updates regarding a crash that we do know involves injuries. A good detour, if you want to take it, is going to be Highway 96. Right now, you're not going to see where this crash is happening because the cameras do not show us that. So you're just seeing the bit of the backup that, again, is here as Omniville. I-840, watch out for that. We'll continue checking back in and work to get some updates in a couple of minutes.
Continuing coverage this morning of tornadoes that have popped up across the mid-state so far this year. Our Fox 17 Code Red meteorologist Brett Luna has more on the warnings and the watches.
This year sure has been an active one. Earlier this spring, some National Weather Service offices out west of here were just having to issue tornado warnings left and right. This map right here behind me shows how many tornado warnings have been issued by each National Weather Service office since the start of the year, and there have been some offices that have been very busy as well. So one of the ones that I want to get to, though, that was Shreveport, Louisiana. They had their hands full with Hurricane Beryl, at least the remnants, as it moved through. They have now had to issue 100 tornado warnings down there in Shreveport. The most tornado warnings that have been issued by NWS offices, that's in Norman, Oklahoma. That's the heart of Tornado Alley. They've issued 143 tornado warnings just this year. Omaha's issued 123, and then right behind them is the NWS office in Paducah, Kentucky. They do cover part of our viewing area. Some of our counties up there in southwest Kentucky are covered by the National Weather Service office that is in Paducah. Another one, though, that is Shreveport, Louisiana. Again, 100 tornado warnings that they've had to issue. 65 of those were issued just the other day as the remnants of Beryl moved through. And here's the 5 offices that cover our Fox 17 viewing area. The National Weather Service office here in Nashville has issued 41 tornado warnings. They cover all of our counties here in Middle Tennessee, with the exception of Henry, Benton, and Decatur counties. Those are covered by Memphis. And then Lincoln, Moore, and Franklin counties, those are covered by the National Weather Service office in Huntsville. Real quick, too, I want to show you this difference. The difference between a tornado watch and a tornado warning. So a tornado watch, that means that conditions are favorable for tornadoes to develop, whereas a tornado warning means that that tornado is on the ground, or that it could be putting a tornado on the ground at any minute.
Alrighty, Brett, thank you so much. Really appreciate that breakdown. So I also wanted to let you know, coming up this weekend, Fearless Investigations. If you want to take a look at all of our in-depth reporting when it comes to investigations, all in one 30-minute special, we encourage you to check it out Sunday right here on Fox 17. It's the full measure Fearless Investigations starting at 5 p.m.
Right now, Fox 17 News showing you a live look out there at the news.
Protect.
Good morning and welcome into Fox 17 News this morning on this Thursday. It is July 11th, and take a look at this. The Williamson County Fire and Rescue Department sharing pictures of Station 12 and 24 coming together to rescue a small dog stuck under a shed. Now, part of what we're going to look at here might be kind of hard to make out. I want to tell you what you're seeing. Those are airbags that the rescuers put under the shed to raise it up so they could get that sweet little dog out. It looks to me like a dachshund or maybe some kind of a dachshund mix. Look how tiny it is.
Well, you could say the dog was having a rough day, but they definitely got in there and got creative to get that dog to safety. Good news there.
Promotional consideration for this program provided by Ponce Law.
Go ahead, Jen.
If you know someone in your hometown who is a hero, we'd love to share their story. For years now, we have been honoring local hometown heroes as we've teamed up with Ponce Law to find and award them $1,000 just as our way of saying thank you for doing great things in your community.
And listen, this could be anyone, a veteran, teacher, first responder, frontline workers, just anyone you know doing amazing things in your community. So if you're listening and you think, I know someone, here's how you nominate your online hometown hero. Go online at poncelaw.com/hometown-hero, and every single month a selected hero will then be featured right here on Fox 17 News.
Promotional consideration for this program provided by Ponce Law.
All right, here's the story, and I need you to stick with us here because it might seem a little complicated, but really it's not. We have a lot of drama surrounding the Metro Arts Commission in Nashville, typically the kind of commission that would lay low. But last year, the process for awarding grants in the arts and to artists in Davidson County got changed. And that led to more grants being given to lesser known and minority artists. Well, we had Metro leaders pushing back on that because they said there were legalities involved in that move. And in fact, the former executive director was let go because he disagreed with what was going on. Well, now the Metro office for the mayor has put forward a plan that he hopes is going to settle all the disagreements and allow the Arts Commission to move forward.
Yeah, we do understand the agreement adds small artists and organizations to the groups eligible for funding. Artists who did not get funding because of conflicts over the awards process, well, they're now going to have an extended period to go ahead and apply. The agreement, though, took 3 months to put together, and now it does go to the Metro Nashville Arts Commission for a vote, and that's going to be held at a future meeting. So more details to come, and already, as you mentioned, Jen, confusing story.
Well, we're going to get it worked out for you here and follow up on it, because listen, these are your taxpayer dollars at work. All right, your taxpayer dollars at work for this Arts Commission that hasn't seemed to be able to get together here lately. So stay tuned for updates. Right now, let's check in with Greg.
Yeah, let's take a look here. 92 later on this afternoon. So we're getting the broad strokes of today. We'll work you into your weekend. And then at 8 o'clock, I've got a few updates for you here when it comes to any potential rainfall this entire next 7 days. Some code red days next week. And also we'll get a drought monitor update and see how much worse things have gotten in terms of how much rainfall we need. We don't get any today. Bright sunshine, more humidity. Sunset 8:05, we're going to have sun almost the entire time. Now, 92 is going to feel good compared to where the weekend goes. Look at this. 98 degrees on Saturday, 99 on Sunday. Heat index value is right around, if not above, the 100 to 105 mark. Muggy nights in the 70s. I'm not saying to cancel your plans due to rainfall or anything, but if this is too hot for you, I would take at least the peak heating of the day hours, noon to 5 p.m. Give yourself some breaks, the extra hydration. This is the first 2 days of a stretch of weather near 100 degrees. The Fox 17 Code Red weather app will break down those for you. You got my 7-day forecast on there right now, and it'll help you get through those hotter hours. The hour-by-hour forecast in these hot days is pivotal. Find those a couple hours in the morning, the couple hours in the evening where you can get outside, and that'll help you out.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Now on Fox 17 News this Thursday morning, a mid-state alderman and his wife arrested. We're going to explain the charges they are now facing.
And police have found the remains of a missing man in Springfield. We'll tell you why they say this is part of a bigger investigation into the death of another man in the same town.
And good news, all Davidson County clerk's offices are back open this morning. We'll have all the details on why this happened and what happened here coming up.
Thanks for joining us here on a Thursday morning for Fox 17 News. I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. We could see people filing in behind Madeline's live shot there into the clerk's office, which is now reopened this morning. So that is a good breaking news update we'll get to in moments. But first, we are still working to find out what happened overnight in Antioch. We've had another shooting there. This time, the person who got shot drove themselves to a fire station just off Murfreesboro Pike to get help. We are still at this moment working to find out where the shooting first happened and what the circumstances might have been surrounding it. For example, are police looking for anybody in connection to this shooting? Those are all details that Metro Police have yet to provide to us, but we're working to get them. We'll keep you updated throughout the hour.
Well, Jen, you just mentioned folks who are lining up, getting to the office. The Davidson County Clerk Office, good news, they are up and running as usual.
Let's take it out now to Fox 17 News reporter Madeline Nolan breaking it all down for us. Madeline, you had a chance to speak with the clerk herself as she was walking in the building just moments ago.
Yes, and she's just excited as everyone who was lined up out here waiting to come in this morning, but they have since gone in here. I do want to point out that these vehicle registration renewal kiosks, there's about 10 of them across the city. They are still not up yet, so you will have to go inside to process a transaction. But with that said, I do have a little bit more information because we were the first ones to bring you this breaking news that they are back up and running, and that is because we are your only local news station from 7 to 9. But let's break down what happened here. A little bit before 11 a.m., the servers went down. Now, she doesn't know exactly what happened, but according to Brenda Wynn, she is the county clerk, she says that the issue was localized and it did not have anything to do with a cyber attack or ransomware issues. Now, the offices here work to get you marriage licenses, notary businesses licenses, and that was all back up and running at 7 a.m. The only issue they had was that the vehicle registration or renewals they had, again, did have issues, but they have since fixed that problem.
What has to happen if you're titling and registering a motor vehicle? The VIN number has to match up to a national system, and so that was the struggle we were having. And so we're able to now verify VIN numbers off of our national system, which means we can do this work: motor vehicle, marriage, notary, and business, everything today.
Again, I want to reiterate that this is not a statewide issue. It is a local issue to Davidson County. They were having troubles verifying off the state server for those, again, vehicle registrations as well as VIN numbers. And that's where Wynn believes that the disconnect happened between Metro Nashville's X post that they posted yesterday. But again, to reiterate, everything has been fixed. The doors have opened at 8 a.m. Now, Wynn does want to thank everyone who worked tirelessly since yesterday before 10:45 a.m. to get this issue fixed this morning so more people can get very important documents. For now, live here in Nashville, Madeline Nolan, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
8:04 is our time, and we're getting going here on a Thursday, baby Friday, working our way toward the weekend, making the plans. Make a plan to beat the heat, too. I'm not saying don't go out in it. I'm saying just know that we're going to get back into the doldrums of summer where we're seeing temperatures into the upper 90s once again. Yesterday was great. Today's not so good. Tomorrow, downright hot. The weekend, abrasive. Sweet sunshine, though. We're going to get it all day long. Code red next week, Monday and Tuesday. Not for thunderstorms. It's for the heat and humidity. Dangerous heat index values upwards of 105. On Monday and Tuesday, but a beautiful start here in Cookeville. Yeah, there you go, Putnam County showing off this morning here with the blue sky. A very nice start for you guys. You were in the 50s earlier this morning. Now you're in the 60s on the way to the low to middle 80s. So if you're in the plateau area, you are going to have a really nice day one more time while the rest of everyone else to the west begins to work into the heat. We're at 77 already in Nashville, for example. So you can see right there, 68 in Murfreesboro, 75 in Tullahoma. Low 90s later on this afternoon. Taking a look, planning your day for you. 83 degrees at 10, 90 at 2 p.m. We'll be as hot as 92 all the way through 6 o'clock this evening. Not a drop of rain for us today that we have to worry about. Coming up in your forecast, that's not a good thing. We'll look at the drought that we've settled ourselves into and the next potential chance to bring in a few showers and thunderstorms. But right now we're monitoring something brand new in steer clear traffic. What are we seeing, Jen?
That we are, Greg. Breaking news in steer clear traffic right now. We have just had a crash on I-40 inbound to Nashville. All right, I want you to disregard the banner at the top. This is not 840 at Veterans Parkway. This is brand new, so just forgive us as we're working with the details here. This is I-40 inbound to Nashville. This is as you are coming in from Mount Juliet coming to Nashville right by Percy Priest Dam. We've got 2 cars involved in a crash. TDOT just pulled up here to try to give give cover. It does look like we may have a spill. We've got debris on the interstate. This is on the left shoulder and the 2 left lanes. So if you're waking up and you're listening or watching this morning and you are in Mount Juliet or Lebanon and you would typically take I-40 to come into Nashville, I'm going to recommend a detour. Stay on the back roads, right? I'm talking Old Lebanon Dirt Road if you are in Mount Juliet, or Division Street, right? You'll want to take that up to Central Pike or Lebanon Pike and come on in that way just to avoid it, because as this stays and police try to clear it, it will cause more of a backup. It looks like everybody is out and talking about this, so that's the good news. But please steer clear, and we'll check in again here live in just a few minutes.
Coming up on Fox 17 News this Thursday morning, we have continuing coverage on the death of a Nashville restaurant owner and more on the vigil happening at that restaurant today.
Nearly 22 million children living in America rely on schools for their meals. Fox 17 News and our parent company, Sinclair Broadcasting, are partnering with Feed.
At 8:09, Fox 17 News following developing story right here involving a Deckard City alderman who is now facing serious charges of money laundering and also selling drugs. Alderman Justin Stubblefield and his wife Paige Stubblefield have now been charged with conspiracy to distribute oxycodone. Now, this comes after police investigated 2 overdose deaths. Police telling Fox 17 News that they believe the 2 victims purchased the drugs from this couple. Well, we have managed to go ahead and reach out to the city of Deckard for comment, but this Thursday morning, we are still waiting for their response. Happening today, the Smoke and Thighs restaurant in the Wedgwood, Houston area is going to be holding a candlelight vigil for the late owner, Matthew Carney. This particular vigil is going to start tonight at 7:30 again at this restaurant. Metro Police say that the owner was hit by a speeding truck in the parking lot of his own restaurant called Smoking Thighs back on June 19th, and then he died on July 4th. They say that whoever is responsible, the truck that was hit, hit the driver, I should say. The driver is still on the run. Police are trying to track down whoever is responsible. In Operation Crime and Justice, police are investigating after human remains were discovered. This happened over in Springfield. So go ahead and take a look at your screen for photos from Smoky Barn News. Police believe they have found the body of a missing person, Apollino Sardinia Garcia, who was reported missing back on June 12th. We also understand from Smoky Barn News that the person who was reported missing, that he lived at the same home as Carlos Camaha. That's the man who was found dead by the railroad tracks near the Robertson-Montgomery County line back on June 11th. This is an ongoing criminal investigation, so of course, Fox 17 News will bring you more updates as more information becomes available. In Operation Crime and Justice, Metro Police are busy searching for a suspect in the shooting of a woman outside of a nightclub. It happened last September, but go ahead and take a look at this photo. Police say they're searching for the woman on your screen. They also say that the suspect got into some kind of argument in the parking lot right outside of the Zion Lounge. It's on Murfreesboro Pike, and that's when police say some sort of fight broke out. So right now, we understand that the suspect pulled out a gun and shot the victim in the leg. Police are asking anyone who might have more information to go ahead and call Crime Stoppers. We're sharing that number right here at the bottom of your screen. It is 615-742-7463.
Coming up in your forecast, heat and humidity, the big story, but also the lack of rain is not helping us. We'll put 2 pieces of that puzzle together and see what it means for what could be a prolonged drought for another few weeks for us.
And Fox 17 News following this breaking news east of Nashville, I-40 at the Stewart's Ferry Pike area. Multiple cars involved. TDOT on the scene. They're trying to clear out this area. A good detour is going to be Lebanon Pike, but we'll continue monitoring and share all of the steer clear traffic updates. And we're all right now, Fox 17 News is sharing an important update because we are now getting some more updates and hearing from the second in command at the Davidson County Criminal Clerk's Office after Mississippi police say a man released on a lower bond in Nashville went on to kill his ex-girlfriend.
Right. So Fox 17 News has been demanding answers as to how that happened here in Nashville. And our Karen Aguilar spoke with Juliet Sloss, the chief deputy at the Criminal Court Clerk's Office. He is now admitting fault and taking the blame for an oversight that allowed Bryson Rivers to leave Davidson County last month. So many people said, how in the world could this have happened? Mississippi police say just days after he got released here in Nashville, mistakenly, they say he killed his ex-girlfriend, Lauren Johansson. Sloss now says somebody at the criminal court clerk's office overlooked the information that the bond company set. And because the sheriff's office never received the bond conditions and Rivers was released, that ankle monitor didn't properly track Rivers, and he got away.
Has put a pall over our office, and I can tell you the supervisor of that office and the person who made the mistake himself are feeling real down right now.
Well, Sloss says the criminal court clerk's office is now recoding the system. That way a person cannot be released without making sure all the conditions are approved. They also say there is going to be disciplinary action towards the deputy clerk responsible for making that mistake.
New this morning, efforts to keep places of worship safer. We're talking church, synagogues, mosques, and any other house of worship that now have until tomorrow, just before midnight, to apply for a special grant that could help them get extra security.
Fox 17 News' Peyton Muse is joining us in the studio with more information about that application. Good morning, Peyton.
Good morning. Well, this application gives a maximum of $100,000 for nonprofit places of worship to hire contracted security guards. Pastor Howard Jones with Fairfield Missionary Baptist Church, serving his congregation for the past 35 years, says just last week his church held a funeral for a teen who was murdered. His church needed security to make sure there were no conflicts, no domestic situations, and although the church is a sacred place of worship where people are protected, especially from above, it's also a place where security measures are necessary given the society we live in today.
During some homegoing celebrations, funerals, we have had incidents where we were in need of safety and security. And, you know, it's a soft target, and we refuse to be a soft target.
Pastor Jones says he remembers the Antioch church shooting in 2017.
And the Sunday that took place, and I prayed with them and went to the hospital and visited, and it was heartbreaking.
For more information and links to apply, head over to our website at fox17.com. Again, the deadline is just before midnight on Friday. In studio, Peyton Muse, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Peyton, thank you. 8:18 is the time. We're checking in with our Code Red meteorologist, getting us ready for, our dog of the day.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good time of the day to get out there for the dog walk and get moving on here. We talk about our four-legged friends every day, and today is National All-American Pet Photo Day. Yeah, so I'll show you how you can send in a few of your photos in a moment. Right now we have Aspen sent in by Teresa from Smyrna, and everything looking good as far as the forecast is concerned for rain. It is a little bit of a heat scenario that we have to get back into later on this afternoon into the evening, and as well as the weekend itself gets even hotter. 83 degrees at 10 o'clock, 85 degrees at 11, 87 degrees at noon. Temperatures continue to climb. They will be easily in the low 90s this afternoon. So I mentioned All-American Pet Photo Day. How do you submit these here to fox17.com? And this is Pet Photo Day. Any kind of pet you got. You go to fox17.com/chime in. Real easy. And then there's a little tab right here that'll say different types of topics you can chime into. Just pick Fox 17 pet photos, and you can submit your photo right there. We'll be sharing them on social media later today. Might even see one or two of them pop up in our newscast later on this evening. Now, back to the here and now. I talked about a drought being possible for us. This is what we're looking at. Now, it's gotten worse. Brand new update here in the last 20 minutes. We have areas that are now in a severe drought. Tullahoma through Lewisburg, all the way through Lawrenceburg. The orange shaded areas really need some air. That even includes some portions of the Cumberland Plateau. We do not have much rain in the forecast. So in 5 minutes, we're going to look at future track into next week and also take a look at your 7-day forecast. The next couple of days, we may bring in some much needed rainfall.
Greg, thank you very much. It is 8:20 right now. Steer clear traffic. Been a bumpy morning so far. The latest bump in the road you could say is along I-40 near Stewart's Ferry Pike. This is east of Nashville, impacting all of our drivers coming in this morning from Hermitage, Mount Juliet, and Lebanon. This is I-40 inbound right near Percy Priest Lake Dam. We've got these two cars involved in a crash. We've got TDOT and police on the scene working to figure things out here, and they're moving traffic over 2 lanes. So it's up against that inside concrete wall. and blocking those 2 lanes of traffic. Good detour here for you. If you are waking up with us this morning in Mount Juliet or Hermitage or Lebanon, you might want to go ahead and just take Lebanon Road to get on in. Lebanon Pike is also what it's called. That'll be your best detour. Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. 8:23, a live look from our nation's capital. Moments ago, we had brand new reports come out regarding consumer prices. Now, you'll hear this referred to as the CPI, the Consumer Price or Product Index. And CNN just put out the headline that says prices fell in June for the first time since the start of the pandemic.
It's interesting because just yesterday, the Fed Chair Jerome Powell was addressing lawmakers, talking about what he needed to see in order to lower interest rates, which is why we're taking live looks at the Capitol, giving you these updates, because it's something that people certainly are talking about today.
Absolutely. I mean, we all feel it every day when we pay for groceries, when we pay for gas. Everything is still so astronomically priced. As I take a closer look here at this brand new report, again, just out moments ago, so give me just a minute here, it would appear that the consumer prices dropped 0.1%. That is very slight. That's not the kind of thing you're going to notice a difference in when you go to check out at the store. Like you're not going to notice a 0.1% drop. But you can rest assured that politicians will be using that tiny number to play into whatever narrative they choose to put out there today on this big report.
Well, new this Thursday morning, we now know 1 man is dead. A Metro police officer is seriously hurt. This comes after a head-on crash yesterday. The driver killed has now been identified. Police letting us know that when it comes to this particular case, again, that I said 1 officer was hurt and that driver is now dead, that we get the name for that person. The Sergeant, Trevor Von Dolan, right here on your screen, was hit head-on by a car driving the wrong way over on Bell Road near Mountain View Road. The crash, we understand, killed the other driver, 26-year-old Carlos Antolino of Antioch. Police say the sergeant was heading into an investigation at the time, and police say did not have sirens or lights on at all. It's a story that we'll continue updating as we get some more information.
Right now, let's pop over to the Weather Center with our Code Red meteorologist, Greg Bobus, and see that precipitation outlook. Greg, I mean, we did get a little bit of rain the last few days in the form of storms and whatnot, but overall not looking great, huh?
Didn't help at all. Drought monitor came out 25 minutes ago. We looked at that a little bit ago, and it went up in terms of our severity of our drought here south of I-40. Here's days 8 through 14, though. There are some signs that going into late next week and the week after, we could work into a few showers that could even give us a little abundance of rain compared to the normal value that you get over that 7-day period. It's not going to be enough to catch up, and we're going to make the drought a little bit worse before it gets even better because of how many dry, hot days we've got ahead of us. When to water? 7, 8, 9 o'clock. We're right in that sweet spot right now. Don't do it after 10 o'clock just because we're going to have the sun coming down. The UV rays this time of the year are still very strong. Doesn't help to water when we have that kind of sunshine for that long throughout the day. Weekend outlook, much hotter, 98 degrees on Saturday, 99 on Sunday. We're going to work through the continued heat into next week as we go into our 8:30 half hour.
Greg, thank you so much. We do want to check in right now with the multi-vehicle crash that is happening over east of Nashville. Here is a live look at everything happening. This is I-40 Stewart's Ferry Pike. Now you can see crews are responding to the scene. They have blocked off the shoulder here, trying to, clear out this area, make sure those who might be facing any kind of injuries are okay. And then take a look at the backup that we're seeing east of Nashville again. Oof, okay, this is causing quite the headache. Again, I-40, this is Central Pike. We'll continue monitoring this situation, and hopefully they can get this area cleared out and ready to go for drivers out there. Again, this is east of Nashville.
It's 8:27 right now. Coming up in our next half hour at 8:30, family members and friends are outraged. They are frustrated, and they are calling for justice after they learn, as we do learn, the results of an autopsy on this woman, a Fort Campbell soldier found killed in her own home. We'll get a live update on that in minutes.
And right now we're also taking a live look from the county clerk's office.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Now on Fox 17 News this Thursday morning, the autopsy report of a Fort Campbell soldier found dead in her home revealed that she was stabbed nearly 70 times. What we know so far about this ongoing investigation into her death.
And looking at a forecast here of heat and humidity in toward the weekend, we need some rain as well. We don't get a ton of it. We'll focus on the feels likes to put us into code red next week in your forecast.
And steer clear of I-40 near Central Pike. This is right over by the Percy Priest Dam. We've got a crash that is snarling traffic. We'll give you the best detours here in just a couple of moments.
We do have a lot to get to, but first I want to say thank you for joining us here on a Thursday morning. For Fox 17 News, I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. Getting to the big stories of the morning. In this half hour, we continue to follow updates as a missing toddler has now been found after being airlifted here to Vanderbilt. She is recovering. This all originated in Logan County, Kentucky. That's in southern Kentucky, where the sheriff's office confirms that little girl walked away from a home in Russelville and then was found unconscious in what they're calling a small body of water. This could have been a pond on somebody's property or perhaps a creek, but we are still working to get some updates. As they found her unconscious, we want to know, how she's doing and what might have led up to all this. So as we work to get those updates, keep it here to Fox 17 News.
We also have a good news update. If you're heading out to the Davidson County Clerk office, you're not going to have any kind of holdups. That comes after a system outage that happened earlier this morning.
Yeah, and so they have been closed actually since yesterday, and Fox 17 News' Madeline Nolan working to get some answers as to what led up to the closure and how they were able to get everybody back in this morning and get them processed.
Yeah, come bearing great news. All of the Davidson County Clerk's offices, as well as all of their services, are back up and running this morning. Now, I first mentioned these kiosks, these vehicle registration renewal kiosks. I said that they were the only ones that weren't working so far. Right now, they have it back up and running. Again, everything back up and running this morning. Great news. But let's break down exactly what happened yesterday. According to Brentwood, the county clerk, a little before 11 a.m. Wednesday, the servers here went down. Now, she says she doesn't know exactly what happened, but says that this issue was localized and did not have anything to do with a cyber attack or ransomware issues. Now, the offices here work to get you marriage licenses, notaries, business licenses, etc. That all was back up and running a little bit before 7 a.m. The only issue they had was those vehicle registration or renewals, but again, they have fixed that problem as well as everything else.
What has to happen if you're titling and registering a motor vehicle? The VIN number has to match up to a national system, and so that was the struggle we were having. And so we're able to now verify VIN numbers off of our national system, which means we can do this work: motor vehicle, marriage, notary, and business, everything today.
Now, again, this is not a statewide issue. It was just local here to Davidson County. They were having troubles verifying off all of the state servers for those vehicle registrations as well as VIN numbers. And that's where Wynn believes that disconnect happened with the Metro Nashville's ex-post yesterday. But again, to reiterate, everything has been fixed. The doors here have opened and been open since 8 a.m. Now, Wynn does want to thank everyone who tirelessly worked on this issue since yesterday morning, but does say that if there are a few glitches to, give them a little bit of lenience. For now, live here in Davidson County, Madeline Nolan, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
8:34. Three things to know here for the rest of this week into the upcoming weekend as it's a calm and dry pattern here. When there's no escaping the heat when it comes to our temperatures. Everyone starting this weekend going to be in the upper 90s to close to 100 degrees. Dangerous heat index values are possible on Monday and Tuesday. What is dangerous? That means feels like temps that are above 105 to 110 degrees. It could be there both of those days. So those are going to be code red days for us to begin next week. Right now, the heating has begun. We've gained 10 degrees in 2.5 hours. Yeah, the warmth is there, the sunshine is there, and it is winning in the forecast. Taking a look forward, all of our temperatures are now back into the 70s. It was a start in the 50s in the plateau and 60s for most of us. Now we are getting closer and closer to 80 degrees, and it isn't even 9 a.m. We're back to that kind of a weather pattern where the first few hours might feel good, but once that sun's been up for a while, it does its job very quickly. Highs today going to be in the low 90s this afternoon. Heat index values in the middle 90s in our forecast. Let's take a look at the 7-day and that dry spell that carries us all the way into Saturday and Sunday. The next decent chance for showers and storms will be on Monday and Tuesday, but those are also our days with the most aggressive heat and humidity, which again feels like temperatures upwards of 105 degrees. That's put both of those days in a Fox 17 code red weather alert once we exit the weekend.
Greg, thank you so much. 8:35. Do want to bring you right back out here to east of Nashville, I-40 at Stewart's Ferry Pike. Now, the good news is you can see crews out there. They are removing some of the debris, cleaning up that road. Moments ago, they had this entire interstate, I should say, blocked off as they were trying to move everything back over onto the shoulder. They are stopping traffic once again, I can see, east of Nashville, but we're checking in on the backup that is being caused by this.
Right, so it is a significant backup. Best detour if you're coming in from Mount Juliet, Lebanon, or Hermitage is to jump on Lebanon Pike. Now we've got another issue. This just popped up in steer clear traffic. This is the merge for I-24 and I-65 as you approach Trinity Lane. We have a crash involving a tractor trailer that is causing significant delays. We'll get to that here in moments.
Coming up, though, we have continuing coverage when it comes to cracking down on cab crime, how our local leaders are responding, and
good morning. Time right now is 8:39. Welcome into Fox 17 News this morning. Happening today, the young lady you see here on your screen, 17-year-old Trinity Bostic, killed and found in Hendersonville. Well, the person accused of killing her is supposed to have his first detention hearing today. A family friend of the Bostics telling Fox 17 News that so far unidentified teenager and Ms. Bostic knew each other. We understand that the Sumner County District Attorney says that he is going to try that teen as an adult, or at least make an attempt to do so. We will be there today when this hearing happens, and we'll keep you posted both on air and online at fox17.com. And continuing coverage this morning regarding taxi and rideshare problems here in Music City. And this is impacting not just tourists, but locals. Fox 17 News first reported on the problems connected to the rideshares and the taxis, people being overcharged or riding in fake taxis. Well, Yellow Cab manager and a Metro councilman are now saying that Metro Police, local leaders, and cab companies will be coming together tomorrow to talk about safety concerns regarding, well, for starters, illegal drivers. They're also calling for accountability from the Transportation Licensing Commission, saying they need to do more to regulate the bogus operators. And on top of that meeting tomorrow, Councilwoman Emily Benedict taking to social media following our news reports, our coverage here, saying that she will also be speaking to the Transportation Licensing Commission about this issue coming up at their Metro Council meeting next Thursday. You can bet we'll be there and keep you updated. In the meantime, you can have a say-so on this topic. We asked over on our Fox Nashville Twitter account, does Nashville need more regulations and enforcement on taxis and ride shares? Right now, 69.3% of you say yes. If you'd like to vote, leave us a comment. Scan the QR code right there on your screen. It'll take you straight to our Fox Nashville Twitter or X account where you can sound off.
8:41 our time. We're now taking a look at a forecast. It's going to carry us into the afternoon with some humidity that will slowly be building for us here throughout today, tomorrow, and the weekend. You didn't have any yesterday, but now here we go. We're back up to the feeling muggy category. Dew points in the upper 60s this afternoon. You take that, you piece it together with a 92-degree high temperature, and it'll feel like 95. So if we're trying to get the yard mowed, maybe the grass isn't even growing that much here, depending upon where you live, just based upon our lack of rainfall. I would say today's a great day for it, even though it's going to be hot. Friday and Saturday only get hotter and only have even more humidity. My curious question has nothing to do with that. Curious question this morning. As you're brushing your teeth this morning, think about this. The blob of toothpaste on a toothbrush. It has a name given by, toothpaste companies. What is it called? Is it a nurdle, a globule, a dollop, or a dab? Now the answer for you, we'll look at your 7 day in about 5 minutes.
All right, Greg, thank you so much. So many of our viewers have really come to love and appreciate your question of the day. I want you to know that. All right, hey, I mentioned just a moment ago we had more breaking news in steer clear traffic, diving into what's going on now. So if you're watching or listening, here's what we know. This is the tractor trailer involved in something, I-24 at the I-65 junction. This is just north of downtown. Now, this tractor trailer is positioned in the far left lanes where he would want to jump on I-65 to go north. The traffic that's getting by on the right side of him is trying to get on 65 south to come over by Trinity Lane. And I want you to look at the backup this is causing. All right, so this is the current backup to get onto 65 going into downtown Nashville by Trinity Lane. You could take Whites Creek Pike or Dickerson Pike as detours.
Fox 17 News is sharing some continuing coverage as we get some more information about the death of Ariel Rose. We're now getting a first look at the Department of Children's Services investigation into her death. The 23-month-old died from fentanyl toxicity back in November of 2022.
We have new details surrounding her death and circumstances with Fox 17 News reporter Amanda Chin.
Community advocates and leaders agree the system failed young Ariel Rose. This new 57-page report by the Department of Children's Services gives us a little more insight into her tragic death, including what Ariel possibly got a hold of. Ariel Rose's life cut short at just 23 months old.
My first thought was that baby got a hold of something. That baby got a hold of drugs.
The autopsy shows she died from fentanyl at High Road Place, a transitional housing center.
Why are they letting children come there? Why? I mean, I think there's enough blame to spread all over the place.
The Department of Children's Services releasing Ariel's death investigation over a year and a half later. The report shows Ariel's aunt had legal custody of her, stemming from a DCS investigation that began in March of 2022. Keep in mind, body camera footage Fox 17 News received shows Ariel inside Brookmead Park in March of that year with her parents.
Jonathan, that kid is not supposed to be here.
Well,
I mean, there are a lot of things you could do that would be better than this. I've seen that child in here one too many times, and I am not happy. That child is in danger in here.
Yes, sir. I guess having a father's not that important.
Well, having one and having one that plays the role correctly are two different things.
That DCS investigation stemmed from concerns of Ariel's birth mother and father, where records show they both have criminal backgrounds. DCS investigators say the aunt dropped Ariel off at High Road Place to be with the grandmother a day before Ariel died. In a DCS interview with Ariel's aunt, she reveals she would take Ariel over to High Road multiple times with no concern and didn't think it would be an issue for Ariel to stay there with family.
I think the aunt who took that child back and put her in that situation that she was removed from, where is the justice for that little girl?
Court orders in the file reveal Ariel's parents were supposed to appear before court before they could be granted supervised visits. The grandma had two other people take care of Ariel that night, which is ultimately where she died. Investigators say somewhere between midnight and 1 a.m. on November 11, 2022, the sitters moved Ariel from her stroller to the couch and noticed she appeared cold but was breathing. When the caretakers woke up around 10 a.m., the report shows they found Ariel deceased in what DCS calls a drug rehab facility and believe Ariel should not have been staying there. In December of 2023, Metro Police arrested Melissa Sutton and Jesse Mashburn with felony murder charges, where police say they were caring for Ariel when she was found unresponsive. Both have pleaded not guilty. The DCS report shows officers found drug residue in the apartment, drugs out on the table, and needles in a drawer.
It makes me sick because the little girl didn't have a chance.
Officers say the drugs had been within reach of Ariel and later determined the drug residue came back positive for fentanyl, marijuana, and methamphetamines.
Who's going to be next? Your granddaughter? Your grandson?
But just how much fentanyl did Ariel have inside her body? 12 times the lowest reported lethal dose for a little girl who had her whole life ahead of her.
So Amanda, we have some new information. Can you now tell us what you believe is next with this case?
Yeah, so the investigation doesn't talk about any other people at fault. However, some parts are a little bit more challenging to read since documents by DCS are heavily redacted. We know victim advocates and some who lived at High Road believe the aunt should also be held accountable, as we saw in the piece, but DCS's investigation did not put her at fault. Now, there is also a civil lawsuit in addition to a criminal lawsuit where the defendants are also trying to point fingers towards the biological parents and other family members as well. So we will see what happens next.
All right, Amanda, we know you'll stay on it. We appreciate your reporting. Right now, 8:50 is the time, 10 minutes before 9 o'clock. And Greg is here to give us the latest in our forecast with the live look from Nashville.
Yeah, beautiful start to the day. No rain. We've got temperatures that are on the up and up, but that's where they're supposed to be. This is summer in Nashville. You can't escape the heat for too long. We at least had a one-day treat before the heat came back. Taking a look here, we're going to go into the afternoon with highs in the low 90s. It's a good day for a car wash, even though it's going to be hot outside. It's going to be dry for a couple of days, and we need the rain. We'll get to that in a moment, but at least a car wash, you'll get your money's worth, or at least the elbow grease will be worth it, because we will, again, be mainly sunny the next few days. Taking a look, wash, wash, wash. Go for it. All 3 days, today, tomorrow, and Saturday. This is our new update here at 8 o'clock this morning. You get it nowhere else, and we're live and local for you. This is a new look at the drought monitor. They issue it every Thursday at 8 a.m. This is not looking good. We have areas that are now in a severe drought, that were only in a moderate drought last week. What that just means is now we're well below where we're supposed to be for rainfall totals over the course of the last 30 to 45 days. Everywhere north, though, of I-40, not looking all that bad, because here's the percentage breakdown. You want to be at 100%. That's perfect. If you're above that, you're overachieving with rain. Areas like Hopkinsville, Bowling Green, up toward Tompkinsville, more rain than you needed over the last 30 days. But everywhere south of I-40, those numbers go down very quickly. 17% of the amount of rain we're supposed to have in the last 30 days in Tullahoma, 15% in Lawrenceburg. That's why those areas have gone into a severe drought. Taking a look at the forecast moving forward, 92 degrees today, 96 tomorrow, and then every day after that is almost a complete repeat. Upper 90s, humidity, lows in the 70s, and very muggy then as well. We've already gone ahead and given preliminary code red days to Monday and Tuesday because of heat index values that could be as high as 110 degrees.
Coming up, police say this teenager was killed by another teenager, and he's going to be in court today. What we now know about the unidentified suspect in just a couple of minutes.
Welcome back. Happening today, the teenager who is charged with killing 17-year-old Trinity Bostic, who you see here on your screen, will have his first detention hearing. That detention hearing is set for 1 p.m. We understand, according to friends and family members of Trinity Bostic, that the so far unidentified teenager and Trinity knew each other. This story has shaken Sumner County. The district attorney there, Ray Whitley, says that he is going to try to get the teenage suspect tried as an adult.
Now to new information out of Antioch from overnight. We know one person was shot and then drove themselves to a fire station right off of Murfreesboro Pike in order to get some help. As of right now, police have not told us exactly where this shooting took place. It's an ongoing investigation. We'll be sure to share some more updates as it becomes available.
And a missing toddler has now been found and is fighting for her life after being airlifted to Vanderbilt University Medical Center. This all happened in Logan County, Kentucky, that's southern Kentucky, where the sheriff's office says this child walked away from a home in Russelville and was later found in a small body of water. As we work to get more information on this story, we'll keep you updated all day over at fox17.com.
There's another story that we're working on here this Thursday morning. We now know that one man is dead. A Metro police officer is also facing serious injuries. It happened after a head-on crash yesterday. The driver killed, though, has now been identified. Police say that Metro Police Homicide Sergeant, though, Trevor Von Dolan, was hit head-on by a car driving the wrong way on Bell Road, right near Mountain View Road. The crash killed the other driver, 26-year-old